What's up, guys? Hope y'all are having a great evening. Right now it's 10:30. Well, it's kind of late, but I wanted to make a quick live stream because I've been looking around in the news, see what's going on. Uh, the news is getting kind of interesting. And one of the topics people have been talking about is saying, "Oh, um, you know, based on what's going on, current events, does President Trump have a chance to win the election and all that stuff?" So it's one of the talk that's going on. But in my opinion, I think regardless of what happens between August and October, he's gonna win by a landslide. But yet, I still have this prediction that the because of the emergency level is gonna be very high by then, before getting close to the election, that regardless of what happened, he's still gonna be president, whether the election goes forth or not. But that's to some people, it's a subject where they're not too happy about. And to me, I think all of this is just theater because a lot of people are kind of distracted. A lot of people are, you know, they're under pressure. You have a lot of people right now who are home. They they can't work because of the virus. A lot of people have lost jobs. They have no feeling. They don't have any hope. They don't see what comes next because of there's the circumstance. It's something that's unheard of. They've never experienced, so it's kind of painful to kind of go through this. But like anything in life, there's always a fall and a rise. So even though the economy may look like, oh, it's everything is getting worse, people are losing jobs and this and that, there's gonna be a bounce. There's gonna be a rising to the top. Uh, so hopefully the people out there can have some hope and hang on and just be patient until there's a shift. Nothing lasts forever, as they say. So the propaganda is gonna be very, very hard and strong. But um, I have this prediction. One of the reasons why President Trump is gonna get his second election. I do not know for sure. I can see the future. I can read minds, but I have a feeling there's gonna be an event or some you know a succession of events that's gonna happen between August and October that will guarantee him his second term. It will be something positive, very, very positive. Like, I mean, really, really positive. And also, there's gonna be the opposite. So it's gonna be kind of like a neutrality, and that will guarantee. Yes, of course, the country is gonna be divided, of course, but after that thing happens, wow, it's going to be something of grandeur. It's going to be something where all of us we're going to be talking about it. But I just don't know. I don't know what it is, but it's. I'll say it's like a gut feeling. It's both good and bad, but it's like I know it's there. I just don't know what it is, but it's like I'm just watching because the month of August it's an interesting month. Summer is getting close to the end. We started summer in June, July, August. It's still hot out here in Texas, so we can't wait for the fall to come close. But to anyone out there, if you have any opinion, what's your answer to this question? Will President Trump get a second term? I say yes. And like on one of my stream earlier, my theory is between August and October, something major is gonna happen that will basically guarantee the president to stay for another term. But if the election do go, he's gonna pull the biggest Trump card. Get it? Trump card. He's gonna pull the biggest Trump card this country have ever seen, and I'll say over 80% of Americans are gonna be very, very excited, like really excited beyond, coming out of this pandemic, all this social pressure, the panic, the depression, the anxiety, the fear. He's gonna pull something that's gonna, man, like Joe Biden. He's gonna look like the guy from Tales from the Crypt. Like he's gonna be like, "Rah! Ah!" And then just melt and turn to dust, and his bones are and fall on the ground because that Trump card, Trump is gonna pull, man. It's gonna be of a magnitude unheard of. And I remember I was on a stream one time, and I was with King Sigma, MOT. I don't know if it was on Mr. Fantastic show, but basically we were talking about the prediction based on 2016 numbers, and our that was back in January or February. We're basically giving a prediction based on this year's election, and I know MOT, Man of Tomorrow, he said no, it's gonna be Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders is gonna win the Democratic, and I say no, it's gonna be Trump. But at that time, uh, Biden was, his numbers were very low because he barely just entered, right? And then, I stuck with, I'm like, no, Trump is, at first I was like, Trump is going to win, but I don't think the election is going to happen. They're like, oh, no, there's no such thing that can happen in America, right? And then, boom, Bernie Sanders dropped out of the Democratic run, guaranteeing Joe Biden to beat the running Democratic candidate. I was like, boom, I got it right. Okay, okay. One prediction, I got it right. It's gonna be Bernie Sanders out of the picture now because he's not the nominee. And then now, when the whole virus happened and stuff like that, a lot of people say, "Oh yeah, Biden, he's guaranteed. Look how the president is running the country." Blah 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 blah. All that stuff. I'm like, people don't understand. I mean, if you think about this, right? When the 2008 crash happened, did did Americans get any check? Did Americans get any? Do you know anyone who had a stimulus check compared to what has happened this year? I mean, I think I was in college back then. I don't remember getting any check as a poor student going to university. Nobody around me received a stimulus check because of a crash, right? So what happened this year has never really happened. Where based on your, if you did your taxes, because I know a lot of oh man, please tell me you did your taxes this year, man, because some of the people I know they didn't do their taxes, so they never got their check. They still haven't had the 1,200 yet. Now they're proposing to send a second round. I think they proposed $2,000. I was at $2,000. Why not $10,000? I mean, they can print money like nothing. They don't even print money anymore. They just go in the computer. Okay, uh, the United Federal, uh, um, we're thinking about borrowing money. we're kind of struggling right now with the economy. So can you please help us? Oh, sure. How much you need? I think we need 12 billion. No, not 12. Oh, I slipped my tongue. $12 trillion. Can you make it happen? Oh, sure. Uh, that's a lot of money. What? Oh, don't worry, man. We got the supercomputer here. Just go back to the White House. Chill, man. We got you, bro. Bring. Press enter. Your debt was the national debt. Oh, okay. America looks in its bank. Pew, $15 trillion. Oh, we just added another 3 trillion. Because we assume it's gonna have a difficult time for you guys. So that 3 trillion extra, it's a little, we're not gonna do any interest on it. Just go ahead. Just like with a snap of a finger, America got money, so you can bet. So we can get that stimulus check. I'll say the majority of people who had direct deposit, you didn't get the money, right? It was computer generated. It went wirelessly, so they don't need to print money anymore. So, okay, compared to this, right? In 2008, do you think Trump can lose? I don't think so. This is just one thing. And of course, the media is gonna be like, oh, he's mismanaged, he's minimizing the virus, he's doing this, he's doing that, blah blah blah. I I just have a feeling that he's gonna win. Now, even though I don't really trust any politicians, to me, I'm like, hey, the economy was actually doing very, very well the beginning of the year. And I'm sure you guys remember the stock market was like whew, way up, and then boom, March comes in, COVID happens. And I've been the last 2 weeks, yeah, for those who are paying attention to the stock market, man, it's been plunging like it's like almost all the smaller companies they're going bankrupt, man. They're losing their stocks. You look at you go like was it 3 to 5 years back, you be like, man, this company was banking, and then boom, they just disappear like the wind in this pandemic. It's crazy, yo. It's crazy. So I just wanted to make like a short quick video giving my prediction. I'm like, nah, I see what the news they're talking about. I'm like, nah, I think this guy is gonna get another term, but it's gonna be because of certain events that's gonna happen between August and October. I mean, some can happen in November, but I'm saying from August, September, October, basically 3 months period, something within those months, something uh, that will be beneficial to us, and some things that's gonna be not so good, but it will equalize to each other. That it's gonna be a flying color for President Donald Trump to get into office. But at the same time, I have another prediction that the election may not happen and he's still gonna be president. I know a lot of people will not like this. They're like, "How dare you? How dare you support these guys? How dare you? That's not true. He will lose. He mismanaged the country. He must be out of it." And then I'll be like, "But didn't you get a stimulus package? It shows he cares for you. The president loves the people. Don't you listen to his speech?" And they'll be like, "No, no, that's our money. It's our tax money. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter." uh, but so that's basically my prediction. I think since it wasn't on mine, I'm like, you know what, I need to speak on it, so that way it can be on record. That I was talking about this. Who knows? Hey, he may lose. I may be wrong in my prediction, but nah, I don't think that's gonna happen. So far, what everything is done. His administration has done. A lot of foreign countries. That's why I say don't look at politics because uh, the United States was basically the first country that basically initiated to basically close its border from China, and then everybody else follow suit. You know, so I wasn't even looking at the chat. Let me see. Mr. Welcome in the building. Uh, was it brother Nubian? Yeah, I know. 1,200 is a joke. Like the people are actually getting more because think about this, man. Some people haven't even worked since March. Some like look, some people they're so fearful of this virus, they never even left their house, not even going down the streets. They're just in their home, like they'll be in they're not even leaving their house. Like just think about this. Like you're not going outside, you just in your house. Like some people they're very panicked. Like I just don't understand, like, the level of the fear people have. Like I just don't understand. Man, let's see. What is it? Who's Tread Not? I don't know. I don't know who's Tread Not. I don't. Is it a YouTuber or? Uh, I, Let me see. I don't know who that is. I see a YouTuber, a channel called Tread Not, but I think it looks like it's like a gaming channel. So I don't know who that is. Let's see. I wanna well, since I wanted it to be a short video, but I have a few guests in the building. What I'll do is I can allow some people who wanna jump in, like whoever has a different opinion or they have a different answer from what I have. You're welcome to jump in. I'm gonna throw in. Let's see. I'm gonna post in the chat. Um, Anyone wants to chime in, they're welcome to. Please be respectful and don't come up on having crazy stuff in the screen. But anywho, I already gave my answer. I say yes, he's gonna win the second term. But if you have a different opinion, you're welcome to jump on. If not, I'll just end the stream because I was hoping not to be here too long. So, but yeah, to me, I think uh, regardless of what happens for the rest of the year, the president is gonna be here for a second term, and a lot of people are gonna be mad. A lot of people, some people will be very very happy. I'm starting to sound like Donald Trump. It will. Hey, his win is gonna be tremendous. Very tremendous, Donald Trump. So yeah, hopefully that check come in soon because yeah, they say the 2000 check is scheduled to come in on was it the second week of August? So who knows? Like I'll say $2,000 extra on your monthly paycheck. Hey, it's better than nothing. I just hope that because they say it's a money that we won't have to give back or claim in taxes next year. But who knows? Maybe after the election, it'll be like, well, everything is back to normal. The economy is up, so we think the American people can afford to pay it back because the economy is back to normal. Yeah, yeah, the economy is back. So yeah, I think the that's pretty much my prediction. I believe he's gonna win. What say you? Who knows? Hey, what's up, YouTube censorship? I see you're still up, and I was getting sleepy earlier, but then I was looking at certain news, and then I was like, oh man, I gotta talk about this, about the whole thing. And I was actually even surprised, the president wore him, for the first time he wore this thing right here. Did you guys see it? Oh, look, I got a perfect picture for you guys. Check this out. Look at this. it's like it's a bad boys. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, bad boys. It's like, oh, they will be like, Mortal Kombat, finish him. Excellent brutality. They're looking like ninjas. When I saw this picture, I was cracking up. I was like, "Yo!" After all this time, yo, like they're like, okay, if the president's gonna wear, we have to make sure everybody wears it. We can't have one person not wear it, and no, we gotta make sure everybody does it. Everybody has to be together in unison. And then I saw this one. No, they can't say that he's not wearing a mask. This is so funny, guys. Okay, let me see if I can show you another picture. Hold on. Bad boys. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? I can see Donald Trump is this is what he's saying. Yo, I got this, huh? The election, it's guaranteed. Look at my tie. It's coming outside. Let me fix it. Oh no, I gotta look cool. Yeah, he's like this imbecile. Why do I have to wear this thing? But oh yes, I care about the American people. I gotta wear the mask. It's tremendous. It's tremendous. It's tremendous. Hey, you guys, can you guys throw some of Donald Trump's favorite words? I forgot. Okay, I know tremendous is what's it? I know tremendous is one of his favorite words. What's his other word that he loves to say? Can you guys say it? Oh shoot, I forgot. Come on, guys, help me. I know tremendous. He loves to say that's one of his favorite words. Tremendous. Um, he loves to say very, very. Like he would say very, very. And what's the other word? Like okay, I know tremendous. Terrific. Yeah, it's very terrific. Like, and then when he does, he will do that little one finger where he does the 360, like the sign, the okay sign. He'd be like, yeah, that. He'll be like, oh, let me see if I can change my. Hold on one second. Oh, uh, this is after the election. He'll be like, Mr. Donald Trump. They'll be like, okay. They'll be like, Mr. Trump, what do you have to say? How was this election? You won at a large margin. What say you? And he's like, this election was very tremendous. My campaign was on point. It was very, very hard. And the American people had a lot of faith in me. It was very tremendous. We are so proud of the American people. The win was very, very terrific. I mean, very, very, very terrific and really tremendous. Thank you. uh, that's what I say, guys. It's like don't take this seriously. Just enjoy. It's like this whole election. I know it's a joke and all that, but it's like don't let it cloud your judgment. I mean, it's like a video game that we're watching. It's just being played by adults and all that stuff. So yeah, you know, don't mind. It's gonna go away. Yeah, and what's his name? Fauci. Oh, look, Lilo. Wait. I got another perfect picture for you guys. Wait, hold on. You guys are gonna love this. Check this out. Hold on. I'm loading it up. I mean, just look at his face. Look, he's laughing. He's like, "How dare you, news media?" He's like, "Get this stuff off of my face. Come on." Oh man, this is ridiculous. Look at his eyes. He's like, hmm, look at me. I'm a ninja. I may be speaking in tongues under this, but you can tell. Oh man, these pictures are funny, man. And now, and I ask myself, why did they have to wait all this time till now? Because I think maybe they realized they're like, oh man, all these different states, the numbers are climbing, and we're coming on TV talking about it, saying, oh, you gotta wear a mask, but we're not doing it. So I guess they were like, oh, okay, uh, uh, sir, sir, the people are starting to doubt our message. Maybe we need to wear a mask. The person was like, no, no, I don't have to. Yes, that doesn't sound tremendous to me. I don't have to wear it. And then they're like, please, Mr. President, this is our image. You know you won the election. It's gonna be terrific. Oh, terrific, you say? Okay, let me wear that mask because it's gonna be terrific. Very, very terrific. Oh man, this is crazy. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm like, they're wearing a mask to cover their mouth, but they're not covering their eyes. Oh no, wait. You said the eye. What about the ear? Has anybody ever thought of that? I mean, your ear has an opening, right? It goes inside your brain, right? It has an opening, right? So why not close your ear too? Because there is an opening. Because you're covering your nose because there's an opening in your nose, right? What about your ear? Huh? Oh, I should keep my quiet because I may give them an idea, and then tomorrow they'll be like, "Oh, there's a new study that says you need to basically put headphones over your head to protect yourself from the virus." And people will do it. People will do it. I'll tell you. Oh man, dude, it's crazy. That would be wild though. That would be wild though. Nobody wants to come on, eh? Don't be shy. I know some people be like, "Oh, I'm a Trump supporter. I don't want to come up there and expose myself." Oh God, oh God. My family. I'm a secret Trump lover. uh, yeah, there's a lot of propaganda out there about, like, I mean, I'm a truck driver. Like, people don't realize, man, like the human body, for people who deal with the morgues and all, so they say the human body has a strong stench. So there's no way they're gonna have like, oh, we're having all these cadavers in trucks and all that without any stench coming out. Like, come on, it's you know, people are like, they need to stop lying. They need to stop lying. Yeah. But anywho, I see I got four people checking on me right now. So before I head out, guys, anybody wants to say anything? You want to chime in? You want to give your point of view? You think the election is gonna go the way I'm thinking, or you think it's gonna go left? I think it's gonna go right, but who knows? So yeah. All right, guys. I want to say thank you all for stopping. Uh, I, I wanted to make a quick because I saw the news. I'm like, oh no, I gotta see something, you know. Um, yeah, bro. Like I know this is all a game, but I I realize sometimes it's like oh Vision, what's up, bro? I see you. I see you. Yeah, yeah. Let me drop the link again. Hold on. Yeah. Hey, I'll stay on as like I basically want to hear other people's point of view. You know, if nobody wants to come up, I'll just end the stream. But hey, if I can have somebody to talk to, hey, I'll stay. I don't mind. Yeah. What's up, Vision? Let me take up to the little picture. Yeah. uh, What's up, bro?
Hey, what up, fasting?
Hey, I'm doing good, man.
You're talking politics, eh?
Yeah, yeah. Like basically, I was looking at certain news, and I saw some journalists they giving like a prediction. It's the election is not gonna go his way. It's gonna go, you know, it's gonna go. What is it? Biden's way, and I'm like, I don't think it's gonna happen as they're thinking. You know.
Can I tell you something, fasting?
Oh yeah.
I sound like I'm having an echo. Is that me or you?
I think it's me. Hold on. Can you hear me now? Like, is there echo now?
No.
Okay.
Okay, there's an echo, but it's okay.
Hold on.
I'll
Let me
go.
fix it. I think what I did is hold on. Let me take it off. But now,
I'll,
what did?
hello, hello. No echo, no echo. So,
Yeah,
I want to say
yeah.
this.
I fixed it.
Us being Africans, right? Like, depending if, like, I know you're from a military family. I like your father was military. I'm from like a university family. Like my father,
Yeah,
they were on the SPLA. There was SPLA and SPLM, right? And so the M was the military wing, but the A was like the political wing, right?
yeah,
So like so what I'm trying to say is it's natural for us to get into politics and geopolitics, and so
yeah,
naturally I was always I don't know why we were always like Democrats or liberals, right, in Canada. And then I remember that one year when Trump, and they've already explained this, the year Trump and Hillary was, I was a Democrat, right? So I was a feminist without even knowing I was a feminist. So of course I said, oh yeah, United States, you need to have your first woman president, right? And
yeah.
bro, fasting, I would have bet that. Oh, I talk loud. Sorry, I gotta lower my voice. My roommate's sleeping. No,
Right.
fasting, I would have bet the house. I would have bet the house that Hillary Clinton was gonna win, right? But then
Yeah,
when Trump won, bro, I was like, holy shit, what the fuck? And then I looked at the like she won the majority vote, but the Trump like won the electoral college and stuff like that, right?
yeah,
And ever since then, bro, I was like, I don't know how these guys, I don't know what these guys do. I thought Jeff Bush was gonna be the next president. I didn't think Trump. I would have never believed Trump would be the president of the United States. But
yeah,
fasting. There's a Vox special where when white people like white men when they get scared, this is throughout history. I find it maybe later on they vote to totalitarian governments. So like Trump, Trump. I'm not comparing Trump to Hitler, but right wing strong leadership. When the white man is scared, they vote for that, and they were scared of Obama, even though Obama wasn't really helping the community. You know what I mean? Obama was helping the rich people. He wasn't helping the regular, lower class people. So like, it's all like psychology games that they play on their own people, right? And
yeah,
so I think Trump is gonna win, man. But I don't know anymore. I don't make predictions anymore because I would have bet the house on Clinton, but I didn't know. I didn't have all the logistics. You know what I mean? I
yeah.
didn't understand. I was just
But
following like a sheep.
you have to look at American history. Like there has been a pattern where each time either party does 8 year, the next president
Yep.
is gonna be of another party.
Yes.
They
You're
tend to
right.
uh
Wait. I
years.
gotta interrupt you. The Eisenhower or whatever he because of the war, he got like 3 terms. That's the
Yeah,
only time. Yeah, I forget
yeah.
which one. Or
No,
Roosevelt,
yeah,
maybe
yeah.
yeah, or Hoover. I don't know. I don't know American politics. Sorry.
No, it's
Yeah.
Roosevelt because he was handicapped or he was born with like he had polio, but he survived it, but that made him like handicapped.
Okay.
But the people loved him because he
Yeah.
basically I mean, he was president during when America was at war. World War
Yeah,
II. Think about it,
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
he died in office. That's what happened.
Wow.
If I remember,
Okay.
yeah, he won his third term, but he didn't finish it all. I think his
Okay.
vice president took over. So
Yeah.
and after him, they basically changed the law to basically not allow any U.S. president to do it 3 terms. But I was wondering what did they change that? It didn't make any sense. Like, but
Well, Putin doesn't care. Putin has been president since 1999, and but we don't want to talk about that. Let's leave it. That's
Russia is
another topic.
different. Did you
Yeah.
catch my? Oh yeah, you couldn't. You didn't catch my stream. Guess what? I had a stream this morning about Black Lives,
Black Might. Yes.
and
You know what? I was at Bernard Riley. Sorry, Fasting. I was watching Platinum. So you picked a bad slot. But Bernard Riley's a hard one to fight against. But
yeah.
yeah, I next time I'll catch it. Hopefully, it's still up.
But I mean, right now. I mean, nobody really knows me. I'm like, I have a small channel, so a lot of
Yeah,
people
which is
like, yeah, from the ministry, they probably couldn't find this channel because I was supposed to do it on the other channel, the new channel, but
yeah.
YouTube won't allow me to live. Like, I'm still waiting for them to give me permission. So since
You
I've
might
had
have to.
this fasting is live channel for a while, and I live stream sometimes, so I was like,
Well,
I might as well do it here, and then whenever I finish, I'll
mhm.
download the video and then basically premiere it on the other website. I mean, on the other channel. But yeah,
Well,
it happened. I was like 1 hour and 40 minutes, and then YouTube just ended my stream. I was speaking to Lou. He's another brother. Like, we were just talking like right now, and then I tried
mhm.
to post like, to basically invite more people to come up. Boom! It says your video cannot be found. YouTube deleted it. So and then my question was, I'm like, wait a minute. YouTube claims to be about Black Lives Matter. I'm black, and I'm talking about Black Lives Matter. Why did YouTube end my stream? So
Somebody
I
flagged you.
yeah, I think somebody flagged, but I'm like, I'm a nobody.
But remember, Taz was in the one of your chats. I don't know if it was the real one. They have a problem with you. They even like highlighted your comments about
Yeah,
B1.
yeah,
Remember? So you could
yeah,
have
yeah.
some
That was
enemies
funny.
fasting,
Yeah.
and you don't care. Sorry, I have to talk low, because people are sleeping and they
Uh,
get mad.
no,
Yeah,
even if it like we hear you good, I hear you
yeah,
good.
yeah,
You're fine.
yeah.
But I'm just
Well,
saying, like, I even have a stream that I want to make called censorship, and basically the whole stream I'll basically talk about censorship because I'm a Bible person. I love talking about the Bible much, but it's like even with the Bible, the what has happened shows us that censorship comes in all forms. Like when every government around the world has basically forced all religious establishment to not gather, that's a
yeah.
censorship. That's a little
Oh, can I say
censorship.
this?
Yeah,
Fasting. You know the Mecca, like they're saying the Mecca has never been empty ever. Like they can't even remember
yeah.
until this beer flu hit, and there was nobody walking around the Mecca. And you know how serious they are about that, eh? Like
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, bro.
yeah.
Yeah, like, okay. Uh, which faith do you follow? Do you follow Islam or you follow Christianity? Because I know South Sudan, they tend to be mostly Christian. Or
Christian because of the history, right, and the
yeah,
missionaries, right. But I follow all religions and I follow none. You know what I mean by that?
yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah. I get
like
it.
I still believe. I believe, right. Believe there's a God, but
Yeah,
like when it comes to religion, they've confused it so much, which is your area of expertise,
yeah,
that even if Christianity is the real religion, it's been messed up. If
yeah,
Islam is a real religion, it's been messed up. But all these Abrahamic religions, they're all really one anyway. You know what I mean?
yeah. You know why it's one? Because the people who run those religion, they're after a particular people. That's what
Okay.
they had. Like the Bible talks about. It says the children of Israel will be like the sand of the sea, right? But the Bible
Yeah.
says, because of their sins, they're going to be scattered all over the world, and they're going to be amongst other nations. So the children of Israel, they look like everybody. Why? Because
Fair.
when they went to different, the ones who who left their homeland like thousands of years ago, they basically were living with other races and everybody, and they start mixing. So That's why I always say don't judge people. Don't judge people because of their appearance, because you may be going against your brother. So the whole thing is they know in the DNA of the children of Israel that they're somehow connected to what you call the Bible. But
Can I say this?
yeah, go ahead.
I remember when I used to study this, but like the 12 tribes or the 13 tribes, I'm not sure, right? You know better, but like the Jamaica has like one tribe that went there, and then like Puerto Ricans have another tribe that went there, and then the Americans have a tribe like in North America, and then another tribe went to Europe, right? And you know what I mean? Another tribe probably went to Australia, like there, and China. So like the tribes are
Everywhere.
scattered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's another thing that's gonna shock you, bro. This, I mean, what I'm about to say may seem controversial, but I'll use like was it coding, and I'll use like imagination. I'll use nature, right?
Hmm.
It was it the symbol of the Roman Empire is the eagle, right? Right.
I believe so.
Yeah, it's the eagle because the eagle represented Zeus, which was the supreme
Um,
god of the Roman, right, or Jupiter.
American Empire too.
Yeah, yeah. So, uh, in the Bible, there's a prophecy where it talks about the four beasts, right? The four beasts of Daniel. But when you read it in the book of Daniel, it gives you the description of each animal, right? But then the fourth,
Lion.
yeah,
Okay.
I mean, like the fourth animal, it doesn't give any description. It just says the fourth beast. That's all it says. It doesn't even give it a description. But when you go to the Apocrypha, the section where they took out of the Bibles or most Bibles today, like that's to
Mhm.
say many Christians they have an incomplete Bible. So what they took in the Bible in the book of Ezra, the angel told Ezra, it says, hey, the vision I'm showing you, your brother Daniel or your ancestor Daniel saw it, but we didn't show him everything. And basically, what Daniel saw, the reason why he couldn't describe the fourth beast because he didn't understand how he couldn't tell what it was, but he just knew he's like, I saw the fourth beast come out of the sea, right? But then
Mhm.
Ezra saw it what as a three-headed eagle with 12 wings.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the wings and the head represented a period of time, meaning the strength of the empire, right? As the empire started losing strength, one head will fall off, or wings will fall off, right? And all the way till it's like like there's a when you kill a chicken and you pull it in hot water and you try to take off the skin, I mean the feathers and stuff like that. So
I've never done it.
yeah, basically that verse is telling you the stages of that mighty eagle as its feathers are being taken away. And when you read that prophecy, right, it tells you about that the fourth beast, right, was so powerful that that beast has its claws throughout the whole earth, right? So based on that prophecy, right, watch this. This is how you're gonna know who are the children of Israel. If you remember history, on almost every continent where certain people were oppressed, they were beat down, and they were invaded by the eagle. That's what the children of Israel are. That's
So
it.
the United States, or
That's what I say.
yeah, which makes
Think
sense with
about
their
all
culture.
things.
Their
Yeah,
w-
where all the
yeah, their
people who were invaded and oppressed. That's
Mhm.
what the children of Israel are.
Plus also remember, like especially like in Haiti, that they say like I don't practice voodoo or anything like that or magic, but
Yeah,
they're saying that the reason that their magic is so powerful there is because they mix all the different tribes, and all the different tribes brought all their different like magic, right? And stuff
yeah,
like that. And that's why it's in Haiti. So in the United States, they've mixed all the black people. But the one thing about these black people in the United States is they have a little bit of white in them too, right? Where in
yeah,
comparison to Africans, we don't
yeah.
have that. So they have like white blood in them. So that gives them an advantage. Like they can think like the white man, if you know what I mean, and act like him, right? If they have, if they.
That's what I say. Black Americans, even
Mhm.
people usually look like just America. No, even in Brazil, like the mixing in Brazil is wild, bro. You're gonna have one person who has Japanese,
Mhm.
native, black,
Mhm.
white, and it's like you be like, wow, what are you? But here's the thing. That's what I love the Bible. The Bible makes it so simple. The Bible
Mhm.
says it says families are set up by the fathers, meaning the blood comes from father to son. So it doesn't matter what kind of woman a man has. Guess what? Whether there's a mixing or not, that child that's born and it's from your semen, it's still your child, and that child carries your DNA. That's why even Mr. Fantastic, he mentioned, he said
Yeah,
one of his great grandmother was mixed with white, right?
yeah,
So I'm assuming she was probably light skinned, right? But guess what? Look at Mr. Fantastic. Can you imagine that he has some white in him? No, he can't. Because
no,
at the
he
end of
looks like
the day,
African.
yeah, because they as the generation went on, some of the children they mix with black, so it's like they still retain that dark melanin, right? But there's even though there's a mix, but because the bloodline goes all the way to his great great grandfather who was black, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Hey, Faisal, let me just interrupt for a second. I'm just looking at this is stuff I don't look at anymore.
Yeah.
I know stuff, right? I just don't say, I just don't say a lot of things. But I need to do more research on this. But just I'm preaching to the choir, so you already know this. But I'm just looking at Reuben, Simon, Judah, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, Asher,
Yeah.
Issachar, Zebulun,
Issachar.
Manish, okay, Ephraim and Benjamin, right? And then
Yeah.
they're saying Dan is the eagle, which is north. Reuben is the man, south. Judah is the lion, east. And then Ephraim is the bull, west, right? And suppose these are the four noble houses.
Yeah.
Is that correct or no? Like
All
these are the
all
four.
all the 12 tribes are noble houses.
Okay.
That's why it's called 12 tribes. Get it?
Mhm.
12
Okay.
tribes. So each tribe usually they have their leader and everything.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, they become one nation.
But they're saying
Now,
those four are the main. They're saying those are the main branches. Is that
yeah,
true
yeah.
or
Like,
no?
I mean, no, there was 12. Of course, in certain area they would have like because remember the 12 tribes they had 12 territories,
Hmm.
right? But if you look at it, technically there was 13 because Dan got cast out because Dan basically they rejected their sonship right and they joined in other nations, meaning they assimilated. They were not supposed to assimilate. That's why even in history they tell you that the Spartans they're actually the tribe of Dan. So when
Yeah,
you
but I have Dan in here. So which tribe is missing? Like I already told you, Reuben, Simon, Judah, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, Asher, Issachar, Zebulun, Manish, Ephraim, and Benjamin. So which one is missing? That's a 12 right there. So which one is the 13 that I can't see? Oh yeah, yeah, and yeah, there's a 13. They don't have it in this one. Okay, there.
yeah yeah
I,
because remember like Jacob had first he had 11 sons, right?
mhm,
He had 11 sons. Joseph and Benjamin were basically the younger brothers.
mhm,
But then Joseph was sold to Egypt, and he ended up having two sons.
mhm.
So he had two sons, and basically their grandpa adopted them as his own son. So they were no longer his grandson. He basically adopted them and made them his sons. Basically, he said because his son Joseph saved his old house, he said as a reward, your son, like your first two born sons, are gonna be mine. So I'm adopting it as my children. But whatever kids you have after them, those are yours. They're gonna keep your name, but these will keep my name. So when you look at the number, it makes it seem like it's 13, but no, because Dan got kicked out. Like this is how you're gonna know. Like if you go in the book of Revelation, let me see if I can show you. In the Bible, it tells you what will happen in the end times. What?
This is your favorite subject, eh? No escaping.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, make your point, but I think you and Spiritual Hulk should probably like do a show together because
yeah,
he
yeah,
seems to be he seems to
yeah.
like
We
study this
want
stuff
to.
deeply, right?
Yeah,
You know, and then have another day for like music, and then have another day for like open panel where you can let people like Zero and Ty City come in and they can just talk, scientific stuff, right? And politics, but like there's room for religion fasting, but you need to dedicate that like maybe a Sunday or a Saturday or whatever. And then you.
I mean, religion you can talk about it anytime because pretty much everything that happens in life, it's all related to religion. And I tell this is
I,
another thing I tell people.
but
People don't
but
realize,
don't
right?
don't alienate your fan base, right? Like like let the
No,
other ones get in,
that's
and
what I say. Like
yeah,
I'm talking all diverse. That's why I say yeah.
yeah.
I don't know if you've seen my channel, like all the videos I have. I don't just speak on one subject. I do a lot
Okay,
of
all
things.
right.
This one it was
No, no,
politics.
you. Yeah. Today was politics, but you always end up in the religion. So no, make your point. Revelations,
Yeah.
finish it.
Just
But I
go
don't know
on
much about.
like
I'm
Revelation
listening.
7. Like if you want to see the list of the 12 tribes that are listed is in Revelation, and Dan is not mentioned because, like I said, Dan sold out. So
Okay.
in Revelation 7, it tells you here. It says Judah, Reuben, Gad, Asher, Naphtali, Manasseh, Simeon or Simon, Levi, Issachar, Zebulun, Joseph, or when they say Joseph, they're talking about Ephraim because Ephraim was one of the sons of Joseph. So
Okay.
Manasseh was also a son of Joseph, but the reason why they call Joseph because the firstborn always represents the leader. So Ephraim,
Okay.
they call him also Joseph, not because he's Joseph, no, but because he's the firstborn of Joseph. So he took his father's name basically, and then
Okay. So see, wait. I had Dan, but I didn't have Levi. So Levi is the one I'm missing. See? Okay.
well, okay, that list that you were looking at, it's the old list because
Yep. That's it.
Levi, that's what I said. Levi are like the Haitians because the Levites were the priest. They were not supposed to. They were not considered a tribe because their job was to basically be the spiritual. So the people who are in charge of spirituality, they're not supposed to. Uh, they're not supposed to have basically political affair or anything. They're basically supposed to be neutral and
Okay.
they didn't own any land. I think, for me, my opinion is, I think the reason why they had that rule because you want integrity. Because
Yes.
whenever a priest or somebody of a spirituality start to get greedy or they start falling in love with the physical, then they can't perform their job. Greed
Yeah. You're
comes in.
right.
Yeah.
You're,
So
you're
basically,
right.
they were like the homeless, but they were not quote unquote homeless, but it was kind of like they're doing it selfishly, meaning it's our job, we do it. We're not
They
doing
live
it.
off donation. They live off donations. That
Yeah,
like in ancient Egypt, you had to give 10% of your like whatever you made, like your whatever you're worth. 10% you gave it to the priest class, right?
yeah.
But that this is when Egypt started going crazy. Like they started breaking rules and that, going pagan basically. But I just wanted to let you know about that. That's true. Same thing with the
Oh
Knights
yeah.
Templars. That's how they funded the Knights Templar when
Yeah.
they went to the Holy Land. They basically that's where you created the first bank.
And,
Anyway,
and
finish your point.
and people don't know before Joseph came to Egypt, the Egyptians were polytheists, and then when Joseph came, because the you know the story, Joseph, I mean the Pharaoh had a dream
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he couldn't understand it, right?
And he interpreted a dream for him.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then Joseph interpreted. And then think about this. Egyptian, they knew all the gods on earth because they were the greatest civilization at that time, right? So you could look at it as America, right? Almost every religion come out of America. Even though we know Islam is in the East. But I'm saying if you look at it, all Christianity is the majority of the of the religion of the world. And the non-denominational churches come out of America. Basically, America is like the ground zero of all religions right now. Or when I say religion, I'm talking about different sects out of America.
Okay.
Right? There's a book called the Book of Denomination in America. Man, that list is it's too many, too
What
many.
What do you have to say about the Coptics? What is your opinion on the Coptics
They
in
were just
Egypt?
they were just another sect of Christianity.
Okay.
But
Okay.
like I say, all religion, like you should have been on my stream, man. Like I didn't want to go too deep. I only read like one chapter of a book, but I didn't want to pull like go to verse. I wanted to more like speak because it was my first stream. I wanted
Okay.
to speak more from my mind because I realized most of the time when you try to read the passage of the Bible and all that, like people they get bored. So I wanted to talk to them more like this. This is one thing I've come to realize as this world goes forward and forward. I think that's when people will be hungry to hear about the Bible. But right now, A lot of people are still like, oh, I don't want to hear about that. But here's the thing, man. I'm already having people asking me certain questions, and those people who are asking me those questions, I never imagined in my life that they will come to me asking me, when a few years ago they never even wanted to hear me. They never liked me talking about this kind of stuff. But they come.
Remember this, it's fascinating. Remember this. A lot of us, like I grew up in a Christian house, right? And a lot of Black Americans, you do have the Nation of Islam, right? And the other Islamic deviations, but a lot of Americans basically grew up in a church house, right? So even when they get disillusioned because they're given the watered down version,
Yeah,
it's still like they went to Sunday school, they went to church, they still remember bits and pieces, right? But the pastor, he doesn't his job is not to connect the pieces for you. His job is to disconnect you, right? So like when someone with you, like you or spiritual Hulk, who are I don't know, I'm not on your side, I'm not against you, but when you guys are advent that you know what you're talking about, then
mhm,
and you start to connect the pieces, then you start to connect the pieces back in their mind, so that if somebody tries to live like a normal life, tries to go get a regular job, but it doesn't work for them, and they become alcoholic, and they become drug dealer, or they get divorced, and they have a lot of problems. Sometimes they need something to believe in again, right? And so they're going to go back to what's naturally easy for them. But now if there's someone there to piece the pieces together, then they might. That's why they're asking those questions. But I'm just saying, I
yeah,
don't know. But me and my friends, we were all Christians, but we all
mhm,
left because of we got disillusioned.
yeah.
Like
Well,
it's hard to look at it's hard to look at a white Jesus Christ, bro. And say that's God. Like I'm not going to go too far with that, right? When that could be like Michelangelo's uncle or whatever. You know what I mean?
one word you just say right now, you
Hmm.
say disillusion,
Yeah.
right? Check this out. I'm gonna read you this quote from Albert Pike. He wrote this in the 1800s, right? And the exact word you use, he talked about it, and it's related to Christianity. Just wait a second. Let me look it up. Um, I'm gonna read the exact word you said, and I'm gonna pull it out.
Morals and Dogma. There's a book he wrote, Morals and Dogma. There's another one he has too,
Yeah,
but that's
I
the
have
one
that
I know
book
about.
too. Yeah,
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 Morals
but
and
this one
Dogma.
was a letter. He was basically writing to one of his homies,
Okay.
one of his previous homies. Check this out. It says, the third world must be formatted by taking advantage of the difference caused by the agenter of the Illuminati between the political Zionist and the leader of the Islamic world. The war must be conducted in such a way that Islam and political Zionism mutually destroy each other. Meanwhile, the other nations, once more divided on this issue, will be constrained to fight to the point of complete physical, moral, spiritual, and economical exhaustion. We shall unleash the nihilists and the atheists, and we shall provoke a formidable social cataclysm, which in all its horrors will show clearly to the nations the effect of absolute atheism, origin of savagery, and of the most bloody turmoil. Then everywhere the citizens, obliged to defend themselves against the world minority of revolutionaries, will exterminate those destroyers of civilization. And here, this is the part where I want to read, where you gonna understand what I say. And it says, and the multitude disillusioned with Christianity, whose deistic spirits will from that moment be without compass or direction, anxious for an ideal, but without knowing where to render its adoration, will receive the true light through the universal manifestation of the pure doctrine of Lucifer, brought finally out in the public view. This manifestation will result from the general reactionary movement, which will follow the destruction of Christianity and atheism, both conquered and exterminated at the same time. And this letter was written in 1871.
Can I say
So,
something about that? No,
oh yeah,
sorry. With atheism, look at the feminism that we're going on now. Look at the transformers. Look at the alphabet crew. And one group has not been allowed in. And it's the group that those Catholic priests, those guys who do resident. You know what I'm talking about. I can't say it.
oh yeah,
You
oh yeah.
know.
Yeah,
Yeah, those guys. Yeah, that's the next group that's gonna come in because the Transformers say, "I feel like it. I feel like it." You know
yeah,
what those guys say? They say the
yeah,
same thing. Oh,
exactly.
I feel. This is how I feel. And
Yeah,
so the feminism is gonna let everybody in, and it's gonna implode. So look at how. So basically, like atheists and Christians are gonna like look at the United States. It's gonna be
yeah,
a war between atheists and Christians
yeah.
because it's a Christian state.
I mean,
Is it?
bro. Here's the thing. Like, I know why a lot of people don't want to talk about this stuff because think about it. Now I understand why people have to believe in fairy tales and movies and all that because people don't want to face the reality. And then I think somebody mentioned he said Americans don't like to see death, right?
But they
Because
see it in the no. That's weird because they see it in the movies all the time.
yeah, a
They're
lot of
programmed with it.
yeah, a lot of Americans they don't like to feel bad.
Okay.
They want to feel good all the you see it even here they'll be like, oh no man that you're going too deep man let's just have let us have fun let us party man we don't want to get all serious because a lot what okay check this out why is America called or why this term called the American dream exist what is a dream
Uh, to me, a dream is something you want to achieve. Like well, the American dream was two house, a car, and a family, right?
no check this out
A
when you go
house,
to
two cars.
bed right when you go to bed what do
Mhm.
you sleep right do you
Yeah,
dream.
not all the time, but sometimes
Yeah, but I mean, when you have a dream, right? Is it real?
it feels real
It
when I'm
feels
in the
real,
dream
but is it
state.
real?
Oh, I've never thought about this. Is it real or is it not? From my current standpoint, it's not real because I'm back in this physical reality. Does
Okay,
that make sense?
so if they say the American dream, is is that dream a reality or is it a fantasy?
I will say it's a fantasy.
Yeah.
You're chasing a fantasy.
So if your society is based on a fantasy, do you think
Of
the people will accept
Ah,
it?
the fantasy of all of us going to become Jeff Bezos, the fantasy that I was going to become Michael Jordan, the fantasy that I was going to become Michael Jackson, the fantasy that I was
Anybody
going to
can make
become
it.
Bruce Lee.
Anybody can make it.
Uh-huh. And it's not true.
Yeah.
That's the reality of it.
Yeah.
It's not true.
And that's why I say America is like a bubble. Like and I see it too because I'm like, why I never hear any information from overseas, man? Like things are happening over there. I have to literally go into those kind of stuff to find it. But a lot of Americans, they don't know. They only have
Yeah.
Fox News and CNN or NBC. That's it.
Hmm.
Not even BBC, even though it's here.
That is true.
Yeah. But I this is why I would say because Americans don't like to feel bad. That's why even if you notice, America had to basically send the people to check. And not only that, I even heard from some people we know in France. They say even in France, because I know France is a socialist country, they were giving the people some money too. And check this out. This is one thing they're not gonna say. And how do you think France got that money? Africa.
Well, Africa is still feeding France.
Yeah,
13.
yeah.
They still own 13 colonies.
Look at Belgium, right?
Yeah.
Belgium's economy was tanking because of the pandemic. But guess what? How come they still have money to pay their people?
And
Africa.
remember when Libya got taken. I remember Libya got taken out, right? Libya was going to become a problem if Libya basically started the gold standard. I heard, and then they want to start their own communication satellites, and they were going to disconnect from Europe, and that's why Libya. That's why Muammar Gaddafi had to be taken out. But
Yeah,
no one will ever know, right?
nobody knows.
Well, they know. Jessica and Kuda know about it, so some people know in the space anyway.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
I
but
mean,
it's all pieces. It's all pieces, right? Like why did they do that to Libya? Like, they took out Libya, bro. You
yeah.
know.
Hey, you know what's funny too? Whenever this whole thing is happening, I laugh till this day. I remember Ty City had a show where he was basically asking questions about the whole hoax thing, the virus. Is because you know how he mentioned about how like because he's smart. So he's like, wait a minute, you know. You made us all stay home, don't get in contact with people, and then all of a sudden, with the Floyd incident, you just allow a bunch of people to go out in the street, chaos and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
Nobody was talking about the virus.
No,
You had politicians that came out and said, "Oh, you know, people can still protest.
yeah.
You don't have to worry about anything." And guess what? When the people got bored and they got tired, they let the anger out. They went back home. Guess what? Oh, code red, code red. We need to shut down the state. Wait a minute. So you mean to tell me that the only time you're scared of shutting is when people go outside, and when they're not, then you pull this again? Like, I'm like, people don't
Eh,
realize you're being played.
Hey, Fasting, let me tell you a story, eh? And you're gonna get it. I used to go to school in the States, eh? It was at Adelphi, Maryland, and I remember one time, we used to buy this Ninja Turtle, remember the Ninja Turtles cartoon?
Yeah, yeah,
And then me and a bunch of my friends, they could all draw, but I was the worst artist in the group, right?
yeah,
Right? And so I bought this Ninja Turtles book from the comic book store, and I would like trace Michelangelo and Raphael, and I would
yeah,
go show to my friends and say, "Hey, look, guys, look at this. This is what I did." But I was lying, right?
yeah,
And then one of my classmates figured it out, right? Because he went to the dollar store and he bought the same thing. He said, "Yo, this guy's a liar. He didn't draw this, right?" His name was Jackson. He's like, "Yo, he's a liar. He didn't draw this." And I was trying hard to stop it, right? And I remember my teacher, she was a black woman, Miss
yeah,
Felder. I was doing everything to so he couldn't expose me. And then Miss Felder goes like this, "No, let him show the book, Cole. What's the problem?" Right?
yeah,
And I couldn't do nothing. And then I got exposed, man. I felt like so shit. I'm like, oh man. But I was a kid, right?
yeah,
I was a kid, right? But that was a lesson I learned, right? But then the best artist in our school, he had a comic book called Power Man, right? His name was Larry, and it was called Power Man. I don't know if you remember this character, and he was like big muscle guy. I'm gonna Google him later, but he was like everybody was impressed. But then one day I was in his house, right? And he was going through his stuff, and the cover book dropped, and I saw the same cover. I was like, "Hey, you're the best artist, and you did the same thing I did," you know.
yeah,
So what I'm trying to say is like a lie can only be maintained so long. Sooner or later, it's gonna be exposed, and then
yeah,
you do everything not to expose it, right?
mm,
And so this is I'm just trying to tie that to what's going on in America.
yeah,
It's like there's a lie they're trying to keep covered up.
yeah, yeah.
Anyway, and finish your point. Sorry, I
That,
just want to tell that story. It's
no, no. I mean, it's like you understand. Like that's the whole thing. Like
Mhm.
people have to. You gotta sell people a dream so they can be motivated. Because if you show the people the actual truth, a lot of people will be discouraged. They'll be like, "What am I gonna do with my life?" Because like, okay, let me use this analogy. Imagine, right? You're told, "Oh, you gotta work hard. You gotta go to school. Everything, right?" And this is what they say. They say, if you do all this, you're gonna get this trophy, right?
Mhm.
You do everything, right? They're like, "Oh, you can do it. Oh man, good job. Come on, you can
Mhm.
do it. Climb the ladder."
Mhm.
You do everything you're told, and when you get it, they say, "Sorry, you don't qualify." How would
Mhm.
you feel?
Oh, I'll be pissed off, bro.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
be very angry. And hey, listen, it's changing because of the society fasting. But really, I'm going to speak for myself. I can't speak for you or anybody else. But the reason I wanted to get the house, get the cars, and get the family, it was all for the woman. You know,
mhm,
So to show myself I'm worthy. Hey, look, hey, look here, woman, I'm succeeding. Look at everything I've got. I've achieved. I got the car. I got the house. Marry me, right? But now
yeah,
the way these women are behaving is like a lot of guys are starting to realize a lot of these women are not achievable anymore,
yeah,
right? So can you imagine when men find out this is all bullshit, they can't achieve their
yeah,
dream, and the whole point of their dream was to get that woman, that dream woman, and this
yeah,
dream woman has turned out to be a whore of Babylon. Like all these women are basically whores of Babylon, if you know what I mean. Just
yeah.
whores,
I mean,
man.
that's what
And
MGTOW. When
you know,
MGTOW, basically, that analogy I gave you, that's
Mhm,
MGTOW because
mhm.
they did everything, and when it was time to get the trophy,
Yeah.
they say, "Sorry, you're not qualified."
And then fasting, here's the worst part because I'm new to this space. This is all new to me. If you get the woman, anyhow, she gets upset. She's gonna take half.
Yeah,
and divorce you and throw you to the wolves.
Hmm.
And now we're all starting to see this, like Zero is telling us the story, Thai City is telling the story, everybody else is telling their story, and it's like, what the fuck, bro?
And you,
Like,
you wanna you wanna hear the beautiful thing about all this? Guess what? Nobody's gonna listen to them. You wanna know why? They be like, well, yeah, that's not me. That's how it is. They be like,
yeah,
that's not me. And guess what will happen?
yeah.
They're gonna go through it. They'll be just like them, and they're gonna be back here telling the same story. That's how it is,
Well,
man.
we have a lot of blue pill people in the space. It's already been proven, right? It's going to be a lot of there's a lot of guys who haven't realized it, and the whole reason they haven't realized it, and Zero said it perfectly. They're thirsty. The men are thirsty. Like
But
that
you wanna
that
know
80/20.
they're
Uh-huh.
holding on to the dream. Like, see,
Yes.
it's all coming back full circle.
Hmm.
Remember, society say this is what you have to do to get this.
Yeah. The
Like,
woman is a trophy. No, it's fasting. The woman is a trophy. Remember that trophy we were talking about? It
mhm.
was that beautiful woman. Sorry, finish your point.
No, you're right. Yeah. Hey, don't worry, man. Like, I mean, on my stream, man. Like, I know sometimes when we're in panels with a lot of people, sometimes
Mhm.
you don't feel like you have to say anything. But hey, don't worry, man. This my stream is. I talk like if you allow me to talk, I'll talk for 10 hours.
It's
So
true.
if
Well,
anybody is here, I'll let you talk, man. It's like there's no need to rush, man. Like, I'm still up.
when you reach 1K, you'll have to change that.
Yeah, yeah. For
You
me,
they,
I'm
they will
like,
come. They
yeah.
will come.
But I'm like, and that's why I'm like, sometimes it's good. Like, for an example, if someone wants to jump in, I'm like, okay, that's fine. But if I feel like you have a lot to say, and I don't want to, because that's what I say. You gotta know. Like, if I know like somebody, who wants to say something, but other people, because it's all about skill, right? If I know that you're gonna be amongst people and you want to say something but everybody's cutting you off, it's gonna, because I look at it, it's like gymnastic. Some people are
Yeah,
quick doing the flips, and then you may struggle, you may do a flip but you're hesitating and stuff like that, so you may struggle. But when you're alone and there's nobody else to basically compete with you, you feel more relaxed, you can do your spin and stuff like that more
yeah.
easily, without any pressure. So that's why I'm like, hey, don't worry, man. Like, if you have to speak your mind, man, I'll let you speak, man.
Y-
I'm
You
like,
know,
you're
what's fasting. What's weird about the space? Like you have the Nigerians, right? You being Congolese, you actually know a lot about Africa. And I remember like sometimes people. I remember one time at Hammer was trying to come at you, and he was basically like they were coming at you like and like Hammer basically was born in this in North America, and then
mm,
you were actually born in Africa and you know the traditions, and he's talking to you like you don't know nothing. But but he's young, right? And so it's very weird, right? Because you have people like the Nigerian engineers and the doctor. We have to say Nigeria because they're the biggest population. Everybody in the space is damn near Nigerian,
yeah.
but the Africans anyway, right? But like so the Americans respect them because they have that clout behind them, right? But
Mm,
sometimes like with me and you, like sometimes they like, oh yeah, subconsciously like, oh, these guys are Africans, they don't know anything, you know what I mean? Is
yeah,
that like Ty City would calls me cartoon draws, you know what I mean? Like he's not being mean, but he's being passive aggressively, he's being disrespectful, you know what I mean? Because you
yeah.
don't know what I know, right? But Ty City, you know a lot, don't get me wrong, but don't judge a book by its cover, bro. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? But because
Hey,
I don't communicate like them, so they
mm,
don't get me. I'm very erratic. I'm all over the place.
mm,
I'm not linear. I can just jump from one subject to another like that.
yeah. And you have to
And they
understand,
don't like it.
because you read a lot, you gain knowledge, and sometimes it's like when you tell people and they don't have that knowledge, to them you're dumb
Yeah,
because you're speaking things they can't understand. See, people usually think that, oh, people look down on somebody who's dumb. No, even if you're smart, to them, because they don't have the knowledge you have. See, when someone is dumb, right, that means they don't
yeah,
know what you know, right?
yeah.
So it's the same way. If someone knows more than you, they're still gonna you're gonna look at them as dumb. Why? Because you're like, well, you know all that, but I know something you don't know. So
Exactly.
it's usually like a
Hey,
typical human mindset that most people have. It's
and
not.
let me add this, right. I'm reading this book called Post Traumatic Slave Syndrome by Dr. Joy. Here on page 48, in 1906, I did not know this about American history. In 1906, this is in 1906, fasting. White Americans were taking Congolese Bantu men or Ota Benga. His name is Ota Benga. I think he's a Bantu, I believe, and they put him in a cage like an animal, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And this is when you had Black Americans there. How come the Black Americans didn't stop it, right? Well, they couldn't, right? But here they had an African in America in in a zoo like an animal holding a monkey, and this was going all over Europe. How come they never talk about that? You know what I mean? You
yeah.
know,
You have to
and this
understand.
guy,
People don't know. A lot of
yeah,
people don't know. Like even here in America, many Black Americans don't know their history. That's why I
hmm
remember DJ Kuda. He said, "Do you want to know why pro blacks don't debate white people? Because they know those white people know more than them. That's why they'll never
yeah,
debate them."
it's true, it's true.
I mean, some of the history I learned about America, I learned it back home, and
Yeah,
then when I came here to find a Black American, but you know, that's this is why I put it this way. It, it's not their fault. Why? Because even
yeah,
in Congo, a lot of Congolese people don't even know
yeah.
history
Sudan, same
like
thing, same thing.
propaganda.
Yep, you got it.
So it's at the end that this I'll put it this way. Those who seek for knowledge, they will find it.
That's
And
true.
those who don't, they will never know. And you basically you can't do that job for them. It
No.
will never work. Same thing when it comes with the Bible. When I'll tell people, people be like, well, what? I'm like, I'm just telling you what I know, and it's your trust if you believe it or not, right? So and that's how I even say with the same thing with science. I, like, you know, me and Zero, we go back and forth. But this is what I tell them, right? Because that's what I say. You everybody has a brain. That's what I say. I don't look down on somebody because he thinks something else, but at the same time, I have the right to think for myself. I'm not
Mhm.
just gonna take anything because somebody say, right? They'll be like, "Well, you believe in the Bible." I'm like, "Well, because the reason why certain things in the Bible I believe because I use my mind and I look what's around it, and I'm like, you know, it makes sense, right? Now check this out.
Mhm.
When they talk about time, right? They say, okay, this thing is 10,000 years old, and then this is what I say. Okay, how do they know,
They
right?
don't.
And watch this. Here's my logic. How can these scientists can tell me, oh, you know, they can go in detail, you know, because it's a theory, it's not a fact. They're just telling you a story that they made up, right? They say, well, this happened 10,000 years ago. This is what would have been, and this is this, all right? They can tell you a story for 20,000, 50,000 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, that's something. I'm like, okay, uh, where are Black Americans from? Oh, you know, we don't really know. We have to do some wait a minute. The slave trade was less than 400 years ago, right? You mean to tell me you don't have the information to tell these people who they are? But you are telling me you can tell me something that happens 10,000 years ago?
Yeah,
Wait,
you're right.
but see,
But
me thinking like this, they will fight me. They'll be like, "Oh no!" But you see, I always do this when they bring their science. Like I always turn it back against them. Okay, okay, okay. Tell me who are black people. Tell me, black in America, right? Because it seems like they don't have the answer. Like black people don't know. Like, oh, you know, you might be native, but most of you can like, okay, you should know something that's less than 400 years old, right? Because you actually you 400 years. There's a lot of information, right? Behind the head, you're gonna know in detail something happened 10,000 years ago with no records, but you can tell these people who they are.
can I
Uh,
say this
yeah,
fasting? Can I say this? I believe that I believe that certain white people and certain Europeans institutions have the real records. They have everything because they did it right. You could look at slavery and colonialism like it was a big experiment, and basically it was a psychological experiment to see how we react. So I believe that they understand us better than we understand ourselves. Now it's our job, right? Like because we're scattered, right? Like it would be easier in like Sudan or Congo or Nigeria. Like we have to start now start our our own universities
mm,
instead of depending on Western European history. We have to now start doing the work ourselves, right? So now we have to send out our anthropologists. We have to send out our religious people. We have to send out our engineers, our everything, right? And they now have to start working back. We've been set behind. And
Yeah.
so like I'm not saying that, quote unquote, the white man is wrong or right, but if I'm oppressing you, if the shoes on the other foot, you think I'm gonna let you know about your real history,
No.
right? Right? But
And in
it's
fact,
up to,
they don't have to because it's not their
no,
job. It's your job.
yeah.
Here's another thing I learned.
Yeah. No, but fasting, wait. Like we don't like I remember when I used to study like Egyptology and all that stuff, like with the exception of maybe Dr. Ben and all those guys, and I know you have your opinion on them, but let's just keep it for a second. With the exception of people like him and maybe Ivan Ben Sadama, these were some of the few guys that were actually going to the field and doing the research, right?
Yeah.
Everything we were getting were from white scholars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, bro, just stay calm and think about this. I bought a book in French about a kingdom in the Congo, right? This kingdom basically it had territories in Congo Brazza, Gabon, Angola, and some parts of Congo, right? And there were that whole area, right? So they sent a priest. It was written like in the 1700s. So the priest, basically by living with the natives and interacting with the native Congolese people in that area, right? He started noticing in their language. He said, "Wait a minute, their language sounds like ancient Hebrew." And not only that, I see some Latin and some Greek. No, wait a minute. Watch this. You mean to tell me that these people have been living in Africa for centuries? They're speaking their dialect and everything, but a European comes from Europe says he was able to basically hear them speak certain words of Latin. So the question will be, okay, if Europeans never got into Africa until that time, like, or was it late 1500, early 1600, right? How in the hell those people have borrowed Greek and Roman words in their language and tongue?
And let me add this to you. I'm fasting. I don't speak my mother tongue. Tony Jing, right? Like my father and family, we're Dinkas, right? And they speak the language. And my father went to school, and then my father said this to me when we started studying Greek philosophy and Greek mythology.
Yeah,
This is African. They said this is our stuff. And then they said even Latin is even though we don't have our alphabet, but they were saying that the Latin language is actually like we have the language, but we don't have the alphabet anymore, right?
yeah,
But they're saying that the alphabet is Latin. Like our language is Latin. That's what my father said. I can't confirm or deny because I can't speak the language, right?
yeah.
And unfortunately, we're losing the language, and I think that's on purpose. So like if you can keep your mother tongue or father tongue fasting, it's very important. And if you somehow can pass it down to the next generation, if you have children or cousins or nieces,
Yeah.
the West is trying to erase ancient languages, and we have to be careful about that.
Your
It's
language
true.
represents your pride, you know, and
But
that's why
our
whenever
families wait fasting. Our families make a mistake. Like my father and my mother, they wanted to be westernized. They wanted to be like the
yeah,
Europeans. So they wanted to give up their culture, not knowing they were walk. You know how Martin Luther King says, "I've sent my people into a burning house."
yeah,
Like not knowing they were going into a burning house. Their language is actually better than the English language because the English language is a bastard language. It borrows from everybody else. You know. So like what they should have done is they should have integrated into Western society, but teach your children their ancient language. You know what I mean?
you know a lot of times the reason why many Africans do that because it happens in Congo too. We
Yeah.
we have more intellectuals than people who do handiwork because they look down on handiwork because they were programmed. Think
Hmm.
about this. We have family members who have all kinds of degree, PhD, super PhD, level 3, blah blah blah, right? But they can't
Hmm.
find a job.
Yep.
While of you spend
Uh,
all your life going
and they come
to
to the West. Wait,
yeah,
they come to the West to become truck drivers and cab drivers. But finish your
yeah,
point.
yeah. That's the whole thing, but they don't realize I could be a farmer and live life. Why? People always want fish. People always want food. People always want chicken. People always want mango.
Hmm.
But you degree, and guess what? Speaking of degrees, right now in this pandemic, your degree means nothing. What happened? You
Yeah,
see, yes,
the schools are
what
shut
happened
down.
is the
The
master.
schools, yeah,
Yeah,
the schools are shut down. So that's going to be less teachers working because they're going to be working from home. So all the students are going to be able to just watch, even if the schools come back. They're screwed. Teachers are screwed, bro. All those high academic, all those high jobs are all screwed, and
yeah.
no one can even go to the office. You
Those
know.
jobs will never come back again, man. Like think vision. The whole thing. That's why another reason why I had this topic about it. Will President Trump get a second term? It's gonna get so bad that President Trump will have to do something where that has never happened in American history. That's what I say. It's gonna shock everybody, and it's gonna sway people to basically support him. I'm telling you,
Mhm.
like things
Okay.
will have to get like so bad. Look, like I'm telling you,
In
man.
fact, no, fasting. Let me say this to you. You've been arguing this for a long time, right? You said this a long time in MOT. I hope you're right. I don't know if you're right or wrong. The only reason I have doubt is not because of you. It's because at one time I thought Hillary Clinton was gonna win, and
Mm,
once I was shattered, you
mm.
know, I stopped making predictions. But I feel like you're right, but I can't go with you 100% because when you get burned once, you don't want to get burned twice. You know what I mean? But you might be right about it. But man, if Trump does win again, bro, man, you're gonna be able to brag. So we'll see. November's not far from here.
That's why I keep saying I'm like, come January, a lot of people gonna be like, fasting was right.
Kind
Was
of like
right.
how Kuda and fasting was right. Everybody's gonna start following you on Kuda. That's it.
Yeah,
Everybody's gonna listen to you guys.
because like I said, some people they're not seeing what's happening. Like remember, the American dream got many Americans dreaming. They're not realizing that this, we, what do you, okay? Check this out. In your opinion, Vision, what is the
Go
purpose of
ahead.
sports?
Distraction. That's what I learned. To me, it's distraction.
So
It's called Circus of Maximus. You ever heard that? Circus of Maximus
yeah,
in Rome.
bro,
It
yeah.
was a bread circus. It was yeah, you know what I'm talking. Yeah, go ahead. You got it.
So the question is, if there is no sports, what will people do now?
And you know what the good thing about sports is fasting? Like I want to be like Michael Jordan, right? I want to be like Kobe Bryant. I want to be like Steph Curry, right? But just because I couldn't do it,
Yeah,
when I see them doing it, I had that respect. I was like, hey, you know what? Hey, it's my fault. I didn't make it, but you know what? He made it, so I'm gonna watch him. I'm gonna support him because he's living my dream from me. So I'm living vicariously through Michael Jordan. I'm
yeah.
living vicariously to Kobe Bryant. I'm living vicariously to Steph Curry. So I'm still chasing that fantasy,
Hey, we
right?
got Gebe in the building. What's up, Gebe? I just saw him in the chat.
Mhm.
Gebe, he's a good guy. Yeah, like it, it's like,
Yeah.
see, the whole thing is like it's like um when you tell people, you know, your opinion and think about what's happening. A lot of people, they're like, "Oh no, I don't want to hear that because it sounds so bad." But I'll give an example, right? Like when DJ Kuda, he said, "Hey guys, based on what's happening, man, a lot of people are gonna be working from home. Get your
Yep.
stuff, right?
Yep.
Say get your stuff." Some
Yep.
people listened, some people didn't. But guess what? By the time some people started to listening, when they tried to get the equipment, what happened?
It was all
So,
sold out. And you know
right?
what? Fasting, I couldn't do it. I didn't have the money, man. I just didn't have the money.
Yeah,
I wanted to buy. I wanted to buy. I just don't have the money. Like you're working hard, right? So like
yeah,
you deserve what you got. But like you, Ty City Zero,
mm,
Gabe, I don't know if he wants to be I don't think he's going. He's too busy to be a content creator, from what I
yeah,
can see.
yeah.
But
Maybe he's busy. Yeah,
he's too
computer.
busy, man. He's too busy with the cybersecurity and all that stuff. He's working. He's fine. But like Zero, Ty City, you guys are working. You guys are making money. So you guys can buy the Republic of Gaming Asus computer for like $1,000 and buy that XLR microphone. It takes money to make money, right? You
Yeah,
know. And I'm not in that position right now.
and that's what I say. I'm like, the good thing is that one thing I like about this space is we support each other.
Yeah, through
That's
donations.
me.
Yeah,
I don't get jealous.
yeah,
What it is, it motivates me when I see brother, like they're doing good streams and they're getting
yeah,
support.
yeah,
I'm not there. I'm like, man, I'm jealous. Why they? I'm like, to me, I'm like, man, I want to be in that position. I want to be able
yeah,
to bless brothers and
yeah,
sisters with certain knowledge, them
yeah,
hearing my voice and appreciating what I do.
yeah,
I mean, there's no need to get, because guess what? There's plenty to be shared, And
Yeah.
teamwork is good because sometimes doing things on your own, you can only go so far, you know?
Yeah.
You always
Yeah.
need other people's support.
Yeah.
So, and that's why I remember I told you, I'm like, because I'm on, you know why I'm doing all this? Because I'm on vacation. I literally
Okay. Yeah.
took a week vacation because I wanted to get this whole stream, like, because they say
Good.
something you have to do it over and over so you can get used to it. So
Yeah.
in the last 2 days, I really know how to play with StreamYard. I even
Yeah.
discover because
Yo,
World
yo.
Master, the tool that I
Yeah.
bought, World
Yeah.
Master bought it, right?
Yeah.
There are some things about the World Master that he doesn't know. I
And you can show
discovered
him.
by playing
Yeah.
with. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
And,
what it
and,
is.
and look at Marco, bro. Did you see the two videos Marco did?
Yeah,
Bro, I
yeah,
was like, I was looking at a Hollywood production. Like I didn't know Marco had the skill, man. If Marco gets serious, bro, he's gonna
yeah,
blow everybody out the water, man. And he's creative too. But like even Marco's getting into it, and he didn't want to, right? But and
yeah,
everybody has their own. Like Marco has the girls. That's what he has.
yeah.
That's what he has. But but like fasting, like you have a lot of successful people in the space, man. Like
Mm,
before I was at the Black Brain Trust. Gay
yeah.
Bay is here. Who knows how long he's gonna stay? It's very boring over here, Gay Bay. So if you leave, you understand. Just a bunch of Africans talking nonsense. But
Hey, Gabe,
there's
hey,
like that.
very busy too. You saw he's coming.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of successful people, bro. There's a lot of successful people in the space still, and that's really good, man. That's the motivational factor. And MOT, right? And I remember you when you would be on those streams, you'd be driving like when COVID really shut us down. Like
Yeah,
you show us the roads. There was nobody on the road, and you're driving. You're just making money. Like truck drivers are killing it right now. You and MOT. Like I'm sorry,
yeah,
you know what I mean? You guys are making money. Like all the essential. Like if you work in the hospital, if you work in the grocery stores and stuff like that.
yeah,
Amazon is killing it right now, bro.
yeah, yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
They're making money. Oh yeah, Gabe. Gabe mentioned he saw one of my videos about running. Yeah, man. But man, today it was so hot. Like here in Houston, they had a warning about heat. It was like over 100. I think it was like 111 degrees outside. That's how hot it was today, man. Like in this heat, man, I won't even want to run. Like I can run when it's like maybe 90, you know. Well, over 100, I'm like, nah, nah.
You you can't compete with those Kenyan and Ethiopian runners, eh? Those guys can run in hot water, eh?
Yeah, yeah,
Those
yeah.
long distance runners, they're always winning the Olympics. They're skinny too. They're
Hey,
made for it.
hey, Gabe, hey, you guys can help me not doing truck driving anymore, so I can stay home and just talk shit, so you guys can hear my voice over and over. I mean, that's what I say. I'm like the only way people will motivate me is the people who here support. That's how it is. Man, I'll tell you this. I would love to just wake up in the morning, come on my computer, talk, give my opinions, get paid, and go to sleep. And go work out something. Or like for an example, what I'll do is like we're gonna have, let's say we have an awesome show here, and then once the stream is over, I download it and then I throw it on the other channel as a premiere. So it's gonna stream it over there too. So it's gonna be two streams. So for those who missed the live stream, instead of me just uploading a video, no, I'll create the same experience where it's gonna be a premiere, so people can go there and comment, but it's gonna be the same video, but it's gonna be different. It's because it's gonna be on another channel. So like that's how I'm trying to figure this out. Trying to play with it. But I'll say this is so far. I'm like, man, like your views will count. The whole thing is, the Bible says speak unto the wind, right? Because I even had speaking, I had a stream earlier. I forgot which one was it. Okay, it was after they shut down my stream about Black Lives Matter, and then I was making a video where I said YouTube censor me and stuff, and then there was a sister that came in and commented, and see, those are the people where I then never expected for them to just show up on my channel, but they came and they commented. They said they appreciate my content, that they're gonna be coming back to listen. So I would have never been motivated, or I would have never known that there will be people out there to listen to me if it wasn't DJ Kuda motivating me. Be like, hey man, I know you have a voice, man. Just get your tools and go out and speak. And I think that's why I say sometimes you may not see your potential. And that's what I told you, Vision. I'm like, hey, if you actually do have time, I could have a stream because I even thought about doing it where I'll have like some streams I'll do. It's like book review, like some of the books that I have, and I'll basically mention it, show like the picture and whatever, and I'll
Mhm.
give like the link where somebody can go buy it. Right now, since you have a bunch of books too, we could do a co-host where I'm gonna shut up, and then let's say you bring a book and I don't know, so I'm basically gonna be like, well, you tell me. Basically, you try to convince me why I should read this book and what made you buy. You know what I'm saying? Like basically a book review where you talk about what.
Well, I already told you this book had a Congolese man in 1906 in a jail. Well, I never knew this about American history.
Yeah,
They had him in a jungle here. Give me a second. Let me read this. Okay, just give me a second, okay?
Mhm.
The little known story of Ota Benga, a 22-year-old Congolese man, was placed in the Bronx Zoo and bailed as the missing link in 1906, provides perhaps the most reprehensible example of dehumanization in recent history. The Bronx Zoo continued to hold Ota Benga captive despite his constant attempts to fight back, and in spite of public protests demanding that he be released. Madison Grant was an attorney that lobbied to have Ota Benga placed on display alongside apes at the Bronx Zoo. Grant, a strong proficient of scientific racism, is best known for his work in conservation and eugenics. Ironically, while he dedicated much of his life to preservation of wildlife, including the preservation of the redwood forest, different species of deer and antelope, and even sea life, he believed that certain races of humans needed to be reduced or eliminated altogether, namely Jews, Mexicans, and African Americans, along with the sick and disabled. Anyway, I just read that paragraph. Ota Benga,
Mm.
ended up killing himself because of the trauma he suffered.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
look,
So.
okay, here's another thing people don't know. A lot of Black Americans who are from the South who were brought here, they're actually Congolese. Look at see me, like I say, when you don't know your language, you won't understand. You know when people say Sambo,
Mhm. Sambo, I remember Sambo.
Sambo, that's a
Yeah.
Congolese word.
Okay.
Yeah,
I never knew that.
Sambo. And usually whenever I go to Louisiana, I'll see a lot of because Louisiana they usually have like French name and stuff like that, and I'll be
Mhm.
seeing Congolese words and I'll be just laughing. I'll be like, if only the people knew who they are.
Like Mr. Fantastic and Mr. Fantastic and Zion Williams, you could mistake them for West Africans. Like how a lot, like people from Ghana, people from
Yeah.
Nigeria. Like when you watch your soccer teams, they're like stocky and big and strong. Very muscular. If you watch them, like I remember in the World Cup, people used to complain about Nigeria because they say they used to foul the most. It's not that they foul the most; it's that they're just so athletic and so fast and so strong
Mm.
that the Europeans can't take them, so they handicap them. You know what I mean? And then I
Yeah.
remember that one year, was it Ivory Coast or Cote d'Ivoire? Drogba. What country is Drogba from?
Which country? Who?
Drogba. Drogba, the player for Chelsea. I think it's Ivory. I think it's Cote d'Ivoire. One year, Cote d'Ivoire had a good team, but you know what the Europeans did? They put them in the group of death, two World Cups in a row, so they could never come out. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean,
So like,
but look at France. Like in the
yeah,
last World Cup, they
mhm,
called it the African team. The whole thing is
mhm,
when it comes. That's why I say sports is a
mhm,
distraction.
mhm.
You
No,
know,
no, I just want to. No, I just want to say, like, when you look at Zion Williams and
yeah.
you look at a fantastic, like they look like West Africans,
Dude,
East Africans
there was a
with
painting
yeah.
Ramil had on his show.
Mhm.
I think he was talking about something, and then that picture. Guess what? It looked like Mr. Fantastic. When I pointed it out, Ramil started cracking up because he showed him more on his side wearing the little red hat or whatever, like a turban,
Yeah.
and then on his side, the neck and the nose and everything looked like Mr. Fantastic, and how black he was with style.
Yeah. I joke around with fantastic that I call him my African brother, but it's like I'm no African. I'm not African. These Americans are crazy. I'm not African. I'm American. Okay, you're right.
And people the word African is just talk about location, just like you're in America. You're not the son of America. You're just
Yeah.
you. This is the land you were born on. That's why you call American.
But
So
a
African,
lot of these guys, a lot of these guys are military. Sorry, a lot of these guys are military fasting, so they're proud of their country, right? So you got to give it to them, right? Like
mm,
Ramil and Fantastic, they're military, man. They're
yeah.
proud.
There's
Go ahead,
nothing
go ahead,
wrong
finish.
being
Yeah.
proud. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, at the end of the day, I'll say when it comes to identity,
Mhm.
each person have to determine, because your identity is where you find your comfort, where you find your pride. So you look at some white Americans, they don't say I'm a European. No, they'll say I'm an American.
Yeah.
I'm not Dutch. I'm American, right? Because even though they may be from Netherlands or Germany, they're not gonna claim that because they say that's not my home. I was born here, you know. So you can look down on their choices, but it's like that's why I say it's up to the parents to instill that love. But like I say, many African parents, it was the brainwashing. They like I remember even in Congo, like people would look down on you for speaking your native tongue because and if you didn't know French, they will look down on you. They say, "Why don't you know?" Because it's the language of
Yeah.
society. So
That's your national language. Yeah. That's your yeah. For
yeah,
us, it's English and Arabic. For you, it's French. Yeah.
that's what I tell Black Americans. I'm like, you think the whole you know mental slavery just happened to you? No, you're not the exception. The reason why all eyes are on you, why? Because America is the most powerful nation right now. That's why all eyes are on
Yeah.
you. When Spain was
Yeah.
the most powerful nation, all eyes was on them. When Great
Yeah.
Britain was the one of the greatest empire in the world, all eyes were on them. They weren't talking about America. Nobody saw refuge to America. No, when France was the most powerful nation of the world at one point, everybody had their eyes on them. So forth. Just
True.
it's normal. So the whole reason why Black America have all eyes on them, why? Because they're living in the most powerful nation in the world, and based on their contribution to this society, they were able to was it influence the whole world.
Yeah.
It's common sense.
Y-
But there,
You
there
know
were
though.
there were more black people in Brazil, right? But why
Yeah.
isn't Brazil more influential than America? Because Brazil
The
is not
media.
yeah, Brazil is not the most powerful nation in the world.
That's true.
Yeah.
But hey, fast. I want to say this. You know the one thing about America, man. Like a lot of their like black scientists and engineers, they've gone a long way to like hide them. Like I have books on them, but I haven't gotten to yet. But like
Yeah.
they've gone like they've made sure, especially the men. Like the only one you hear about is George Garber Washington. But other than that, the other ones you don't hear about. And he had something to do with Ford as well, I believe. But um um he's the only one, and he was actually castrated, which is so sad. So they cut off his balls or something like that, if not his whole thing. And the reason I find that sad is they used to do that to a lot of like Eastern Africans, especially Sudanese, when the Arabs used to like take them over to like the Middle East for like slavery there. They used to do the same thing. So that's why I find his story sad. Like, but the one thing is when you cut off a man's thing and don't promote it, he's no longer focused on sex. So he can focus now just on achieving and bringing out nature and learning life,
Yeah.
right? So it's a
Look,
double edged. Go ahead.
I'll
Go ahead.
say
But anyway, but
uh,
I know I went off topic, but they don't give credit to a lot of their
yeah.
black pioneers. Like the traffic light.
Oh yeah.
Arm and Hammer. There's like these are just the light.
Yeah.
Possibly the light bulb, but I can't talk about that one yet. Just so many things, bro.
And look, Gabe just mentioned he said his
Washing machine.
father never wanted him to learn Urhobo
Mhm.
language. He say it wasn't important. I'm still pissed off. Bro, you're not the only man. I've met a lot of immigrants where most of the time Africans or even Europeans, where they be like, man, my parents they didn't want to teach us the native because it's the brainwash, especially Africans. It's the brainwashing. Like I don't know how to explain it. It's like, but you know what? I understand it because King Leopold in Congo. This is what he said. He said the priest they had to train. They say you have to train the children to obey you than to obey their parents. So how is a European gonna train your child if they don't speak their language? You see? You see how it works? If the children understand their native tongue, they will obey their parents. But if they speak the language of the master and their parents cannot understand that language, guess who they're gonna listen to? They're gonna listen to somebody who can understand them. See how that goes? So it's inevitable. And a lot of Africans who do that, they don't realize it was a programming. That's why they do
Yep.
it.
Yep.
That's why they do it. Like me, for an example, uh, because of political stuff. my dad had to basically remove our family name because that name had a lot of it was like a red flag for political reasons. But when we moved here, my dad was like, well, on paper, he's like, you guys can, if you have children, you can give back the name of your ancestor if you want to, because we're not living in under that regime. So even my dad understand the value of having the name of your ancestor, because our grandpa passed away like 3 years ago. So you know and my dad is he's in his 60s, so it's like the old generation, they feel, oh, hey, my time is coming soon, so I gotta pass down the torch kind of thing. So your name means everything, man. I'll tell you, like, and then that's why when I talk about the Bible, and so I say that we are the children of Israel, it's more than just that, because in the Bible it literally tells you, it says that the nations, they conspire together. They say, these people, let us take the name, let us make them forget their name, their language, their tongue, so that nobody, basically everybody knows who you are by you. That's the real conspiracy of the world. Everybody. And when I say everybody, I'm not talking because even other races, they were deceived by the people. But when I say everybody, I'm talking about the people with knowledge. They know who we are, but they will never tell us, because they know with knowledge of self comes everything. There is a proverb in Africa. It says, if the son of a king, right, who's supposed to have everything, but you make him come beg at your feet for things belong
Sorry.
belong to him. What power? You see what I'm saying? The prince, everything belongs to him, but he goes to the person who tricked him to think that he has to beg to get what belongs to him. For years, this prince, he's living in poverty. He's going to beg. He be like, hey, can I have a little piece of bread? While that guy said, dude, I'm eating your bread. I'm living in your sofa. Your father left all this for you, but I got it because you don't know who you are. The title deed is in your name, but because you don't know who you are, you can't claim it. It's right here in a safe box. There's no keys. It's unlocked, but because you don't know who you are, you can access it. Because you don't know who you are, you can enjoy the good life. Your identity means everything. But see, stuff like this, they don't want people like us to talk. That's what I even predict. I'm like, in the coming months, anybody who speak stuff like I'm speaking, they're gonna be censored, man. Censorship is gonna be at all time high. There will be some, like, I know for YouTube, for an example, if the president doesn't really pass that censorship law where they're basically gonna break, like, because he threatened was it Twitter and YouTube to basically be like, hey, you guys get government exemption and all that stuff and grants. You say, because of how you're acting, I'm gonna basically stop the cash flow, so you can just make money on your own strength. Because people don't realize a lot of these companies, they get government funding. They get government billions of dollars, because common sense should tell you this company, they cannot run. Yeah, they may have money, but nobody wants to invest their hard-earned money into a business that's at this magnitude. No way. And plus, if you're gonna have hackers, you know, something that YouTube is no regular people run. It's government run, because they get the funding. They get, you got CNN here, Fox News. Of course, you're not gonna allow major companies like that being in a space that's controlled by independent people. No way, hell no, right? So at the end of the day, the whole censorship is, that means what whoever is funding it is behind it, but we can't say it because we have no proof. But we can use our common sense. So at the end of the day, there must be some conflict where some people are for censorship and some people are for censorship. So it's wild, man. Like, we could sit here for hours talking about this subject, man. There's so much, man. Like, the whole thing is, the days are coming, man. Like, I'll say, if you have like especially if you have a family, man, it a lot of people are going through hard times, man. Like that's why I thought about doing a stream about people like it's so gloomy and all that. I don't want to you don't want to have like a that's what say I understand why a lot of Americans they don't want to talk serious like they want to feel good because they're just having things are kind of hard right now, so it's like they don't want to hear stuff like that are very serious and you know dry. They want the excitement like, oh, you want to know why? Because they took the sports away, they took religion away, so you stay home. Where am I? You stuck at home. Not, yeah, you can watch some movies online, but it's not the same feeling because when it comes to sport, people want to come together, but you're told don't come together, stay home. Things are bad. You could die. Like it's wild, man. Like sometimes I see, man. I'm like, especially for those who have a family. Like one of my homies, man. Like because of that 2 months where everything was closed, man. He wasn't working. No, think about this. You got kids, young children, daddy, daddy, daddy. And let's say you apply for unemployment, but the money that your salary is, let's say, half of what you get. So let's say you get like $1,000 a week, but the government sending you 500 or $600 a week. That's not enough because you were living a different lifestyle. So a lot of people they're basically changing. This whole pandemic has changed people's lifestyle
Yes.
without their own free will.
Hey, Fasting, can I add to this? Like me and my buddy were outside today, right? And you see everybody here has cars. They have, they have houses, right? And we were just talking about the American dream, which is the Canadian dream, right? Now, everybody that has a house, they have not fully paid for that house. You know that, right? Everybody that has those two cars in their garage, they have not those. They're still making car payments, right? They still got credit card debts. This is not everybody, right? And they got two or three kids in the house, right? And they may or may not be working. And if they are, the money has gone substantially down. Those guys are in a lot of trouble.
Yeah,
Your house is not paid off. Your car is not paid off. You better hope Trump restarts his economy. It's not going to be a hard restart. It's going to be a soft restart. Is what I believe. But it's amazing, man. Because so like like
yeah,
it sounds weird, but what a time to be single. And nothing wrong with being a family man. But if you're a family person, like I hope you like invested in stocks. You have money, put away. You have your house is paid off. Your cars are paid off, right? And I'm sure there's people like that, right?
hey, watch
And
this.
you go ahead.
Even
Mhm.
right now, it's the worst time to do stocks. Look, I have those apps. This bro, the stocks are in the red. Like
But
today,
wait, fasting.
look, everything.
You know, but wait. You know, but the Great Depression, right? It was just a wealth transfer.
Yeah,
The stock markets did recover. Just you got to be there at the right time, or you got
yeah,
to ride it out. Go ahead, make your point.
yeah.
All right.
That's what I'm saying. The whole thing is it's like you just have to be watchful and because a lot of people they're gonna be in their emotions and they're gonna don't act right in your impulses. Just be smart and be careful. It's like this is the time where a lot of pyramid schemes will be showing up. That and guess what? It was happening the same thing back in 2008 where a lot of people lost jobs when it came 2009. Guess what? People were like, oh yeah, this tea, this special tea, it's very healthy, uh you can have your own business. See, there's gonna be a lot, bro. This is gonna bring a lot of scams. Like I don't know. Hey, check this out. Gabe, maybe you probably know. Gabe, did you see that news where they're saying, quote unquote, allegedly there's a shortage of coins? Where I even experienced it, where if you go to the store and you buy with cash, you have to give the exact change, or else they're not gonna give you the change back, or they're preferring you to use your card. And people don't realize that they're preparing people for the mark of the beast, where the Bible say that there's gonna be something where you won't be able to buy or sell unless you have the mark of the chip. And people don't understand the whole thing about the chip is it's not gonna be forced on you. They're gonna set things up where you will have no choice but to be part of the system. And that's what I keep telling people. I'm looking left and right. I'm seeing the Bible happening, and Christians are still waiting for the rapture. And people, they don't even understand what is the rapture. The rapture means dying. If you dead, you rapture because you're out of here. The, the Bible said the Antichrist was already here since then. People don't understand the Antichrist is the Roman Empire. It's the government. It's the ego. So people are waiting for the rapture where things that were talked about in the Bible, it's happening right now. I've been telling people to get their passport for years. I was telling my family member for the past 2 years and cousins and friends. I'm like, hey, if you don't have an American passport, get one. If you don't have a passport, get one. Because they passed a law in the end of 2018, 2019, that basically said that for you to fly from one state to another, you either need a real ID or your passport. And check this out to show you that 2020 is an interesting year. The implementation of that law was scheduled for this November 2020. You think this is a coincidence? Yeah. Hey, Gabby. So I guess you know, yeah, there will be no rapture. Yeah, there will be no rapture. Christians are gonna be waiting forever because that's why they took the apocrypha out of the Bible. Why? Because when you go into the there like the regular Bible that people have, there's no such word as rapture, right? They misinterpret what Paul talks about. Paul talks about the resurrection, but when you go in the apocrypha, right, it tells you that it's better for you to be left behind because, and this is what it says. It says, though it said those who are taken are like the means they're dead, like the cloud, right? A cloud, it forms, it rains, and then it goes away like it never was there. That's what they're referring to. So you don't want to be raptured. Rapture means you're gonna be dead before Christ's return. That's the rapture. You want to be alive. You want to be left behind. See the media, what they say, oh, left behind. The ones who are left are the bad people. No, you want to be left behind. You want to be alive to witness everything the Bible spoke of happening within our eyes. Look, I used to love reading the Bible. My grandpa was Catholic, so he had a lot of those little books with paintings and all that. So I used to love going to his house and just looking at the pictures and everything. Even in my young mind, I was imagining, I'm like, man, when Christ come and we're gonna be taken away, so we won't have to go through evil. But I'm like, wait a minute. Before I came to America, we went through a civil war. That was evil, right? Why wasn't I raptured? I'm a Christian. I'm not supposed to suffer all this. And it's you like, wow, it's like they've lied to us. And come to find out that the left behind doctrine was a Jesuit doctrine. Basically, they had to sell a lie. Why? Because to keep people still. Because a lot of Christians, because of the theology, they have this mindset. Oh, we're gonna be raptured out here, so we don't have to do anything. Oh, there's injustice in the land. Oh, don't worry, Jesus is gonna come. We will be taken out of here. We don't have to. And sometimes I see comments where people, oh man, things are getting bad, but no worry, Jesus is gonna come and take us away. I'm like, okay, yeah, Jesus is gonna come. All right, he's gonna guess what? He's gonna have a green beret. He's gonna have a was it M15 or M16 M16, and he's gonna have a big black boot, camouflage, come in your house and say, "Get the hell out." That's gonna be your Jesus, because the Jesuits, they lie to everybody. They lied to everybody. They said, "Oh yeah, yeah, uh, you know, you know, first when it comes to dead who are alive will rise, and then we're gonna go into heaven, and then the Antichrist is gonna come out of the scene, and he's gonna be destroying the earth. He's gonna put the mark of the beast." And here's another truth that maybe some people who are Christians will they they will deny, but those who can understand will understand. 98% of Christians will gladly take the mark of the beast. 98% of Christians will gladly take the mark of the beast. I'm not even talking about other religions because other religions, there's no such thing. There's no talk about the mark of the beast. They don't know. Look, Muslims, oh, they will take it quickly. Oh yeah, they'll take it. Hindus, oh quick. Atheists, oh yeah, definitely them. Yeah, but the sad part is Christians who should know better because it's spoken of in their book. 98% of them will take the mark of the beast gladly. Why? For fear of death, for fear of safety, for fear of hunger, because they're gonna be like, well, see, people cannot look. A lot of Americans cannot imagine what it's like to live in hunger and having government pressure oppressing you on top of it. They've never experienced it. Now, let's put this scenario, right? Let's give the 90 million Americans who have lost their job, right? They're having a hard time. They can barely have food, right? And then the government said, okay, we know you have student debt, right? You can afford to pay because you don't have a job. You have mortgage, you have everything, right? And then Uncle Sam says, you see, that's why I'm Uncle Sam. You're my people. I love you so much, my children. Guess what? I will wipe up everything negative. You have a record, I will erase it as if it never existed. You have loans, look, the house is yours, everything. But on one condition, you have to take the mark of the beast. Now, ask yourself, how many of those people, the 90 million who just lost everything, they're struggling? What is the percentage of them who's going to take it? Because I'll bet you 90 million of those, they probably don't believe in the mark of the beast. They believe that Jesus hasn't come back yet, so it can't be the mark of the beast because they're waiting for him to come back. And in their theology, the Antichrist don't show up until they're taken out of here, right? And they'll offer that. What? How many Americans are gonna agree? See, that's one thing people don't think about it. Like it will be just like that in a snap of a finger. They're gonna be like, yes, yes, please. And then once they take that chip, they're no longer them. It's gonna be a demon inside them, taking over their vessel, and whatever evil that demon does with their vessel, their soul is gonna be stuck on the body, seeing everything like a sunken place, and there's nothing they can do. Like, okay, imagine in your mind, right? You waking up in the morning, you're standing in front of your mirror. You know how you have the voice in your head, you talk to yourself, right? And then you talk to yourself, and then you tell your body, right? Okay, let me brush my teeth, and then you set your brain sends the message to your hand, right, to pick up the brush. No, your body goes around and sits in the toilet, and you're like, wait a minute, I don't have control of my body. Why am I sitting in? I don't want to. I want to take a dump. I want to brush my teeth, and then you hear voices say, "Shut up. This is my body now." And you can. There's nothing you can do. That's what the Bible says. It says the people who are gonna have the mark, they're gonna wish to die, but they won't be able to die. Why? Because they're gonna be stuck when they take that mark. They're gonna be stuck in their body, but they're gonna be taught. That's why I said they're gonna be tortured. How they're gonna be tortured? Because they're gonna have a foreign entity, and because they use their free will to give up their vessel, that demon will basically become them. That's why the Bible says those people who take the mark, they're not gonna be dead. They're gonna change. Let's say if you had a loving wife or whatever, and they take the mark of the beast, the wife you're sleeping there, it's not her anymore. It's a demon. You're having goody stuff with a demon looking like your wife. You kissing to that demon and everything, thinking it's your wife, but it's a demon. You making love with a demon. And these are the stuff where the Christian church was supposed to be the shepherd. It was supposed to warn the people. We're supposed to basically prepare people's mind for the time that we're living in, and those people stay silent. Yeah, hey, Gabe, this is actually nobody have mentioned about me when I started reading it. This is because, like I always say, the Bible when it talks about things like when the prophets were speaking, there's he's using the language of his time, right? Like the internet, like the internet is mentioned in the Bible, right? But it's not written the internet, right? But what is us and DJ Kuda? What do we call our sector? What do we call it? Stream team. What is a stream? Gabe, let me see if he can answer. Gabe, what is a stream? Let me see if Gabe can answer.
Honestly, I don't even know. Okay, there you go.
You
Streaming. Go ahead.
like stream, right?
Like a
Stream,
water stream
yeah,
in the water, energy stream.
currents, right? What do you
Currency, which is
call current?
currency is actually currency is current, like in electricity.
Oh,
Current
yeah,
currency. It's
yeah,
energy.
right. What do they call the internet? What do they call the internet?
Cyberspace.
www. What is
Okay.
www?
World Wide Web.
Uh huh. Now watch this. What program do you use to get information or to download information? What is it called? If you don't know, I'll say torrent.
Okay.
So in the Bible, it talks about the dragon. He spew a flow of water, right? In the book of Revelation. And I was watching a church called the Gathering of Christ. So basically, in their church, some of the people who do Bible studies they received that revelation. When you go in the Greek and you look at the definition of the word, you know what? Let me do it right now. Let me go to Revelation 12 in the Strong's Concordance. Let me look at the definition of the stream of water. Let me see. Revelation 12 3. Let me see. Verse uh verse 15. It says, and the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood, right? Watch this. Let me click flood. It says the meaning of flood in Greek, it says potamos. Definition: a stream, a river, a torrent, flood. And then it basically gives you, it says flood, the meaning of flood, stream, water. So what he's talking about is the flood of lies, right? But with water, right, you can guide it different ways. And then the next verse it says that he sent the flood, right, after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away from the flood, meaning the internet was created to cause the chosen people to be taken off. Like, because the internet has a lot of information, right? So it's like if you get bombarded with a bunch of information, some of them are gonna be good, some of them are gonna be bad, right? Now watch this. In the next verse, it says what? It says, and the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened her mouth and swallow up the flood which the dragon cast out of his mouth. Why? Because the information that was available was tainted. But thanks to archaeology, they're finding records that were hidden in caves and mountains that basically give more clarification. That's why, for example, the Dead Sea Scrolls, some of the records that came out, if you were to look at it and you look at what we have, there might be a few words changing here and there, but it's like so identical. So those records were hidden for thousands of years. So when people say, "Oh, what the Bible," I'm like, the Bible was written over and over. Why? Because they would destroy the records. Like, people don't understand. you see in movies, right? When let's say there's a coup d'état, right? A new government comes in, the rebels they take over the country. What do the old regime? What do they do? Burn the files, burn the files, burn the files, right? So imagine your country getting conquered over, every century they get taken down, and the enemy comes and destroy everything. So over time, the information is gonna be corrupted. Why? Because you gotta renew every time. But if you have an information that's hidden where nobody touches it for thousands of years until somebody brings it out, then you can know you'll be like, wait a minute, the information or the copy that we have compared to what came from the earth, it's not the same. Or there's a little difference. So this one is more ancient. So we're gonna give this one from the earth more credit. So the Bible is even saying that the information came out, like the dragon sent that flood of information to basically swallow up the people. But then the earth came up and basically swallowed the lies. So, that's, we get more into revelation stuff. Like when I was listening to the stream, when they revealed that understanding that they got, I was like, man, I'm like when they say I got it, right? But some people say, oh, that's a stretch mark. You know, the internet's on the Bible and all that. But I'm like, you don't understand how words work, because at that time, when the ancients that were seeing a vision, I'll give an example, right? In Isaiah saw a vision of a nuclear war, but in his mind, he called a missile, right? He called it a shooting star. He said I saw a bunch of star coming from the west shooting down, and he said when they hit the sea, the ocean, he said I saw clouds like mushroom, right? Like clouds going. He said a clouds going up in the sky, darkening the heavens, and then the wave of the water coming to the shores, destroying everything. And he even talks about, he said one star fell in a city, and that blast was so powerful, and the heat we mixed with the dust. Some people, I say, he saw a man's eye socket burn with heat. I mean, that described literally a nuclear blast, but he had no word for a nuclear. So he was expressing what he was saying based on the understanding he had back then. But people,
Hey, fasting. I'll be back later. If you're still on, I'll be back. I gotta go. I gotta leave for a moment. Okay.
all right, peace.
All
Yeah.
right. Peace.
So I'm like, this the way they saw things when they think the future, they couldn't understand. Like they saw a plane and they called it flying chariots, right? I mean, those who are in the military, or you've been in the airport, you see the plane, right? A plane is majestic. It's a big beast, right? So when he was seeing the planes in a vision, he said he saw like these chariots. They're flying very fast from one point to another, north, south, right? So he's expressing something he can't understand based on what he knew, because we know a fire jet, right? It's literally a chariot, right? In a chariot, you have a horse running, and then the chariot may have blades or something. You may have a archer shooting from the chariot. So he's seeing a plane flying in the sky, shooting down on people, dropping bombs, and the only way he could interpret it is a flying chariot. That's how he could understand it. But they were talking about he was actually talking about an actual airplane or a fire jet, you know. But this stuff, because a lot of people doubt the Bible, so they don't want to hear it. It's like you can't even give them the information. Why? Because they're not gonna be. They already have a prejudgment towards the knowledge. I don't want to hear. It's nonsense to me. But the reason why I stick with the Bible, because I'm like, some of the things the Bible talks about is happening. They talked about it. It doesn't matter whether they twisted it or not. I'm like, the prophecy that was spoken in that book is happening right now. In the Bible, it says there's gonna be a time where travel is gonna be restricted all over the world. And if those people who actually believe, they're gonna be put to the test. It says you're gonna be kicked out of your house. Then at that moment, everybody's gonna know who's the real child of God. Why? Because when they offer you safety, by you giving up your sovereign right over your body, are you really, do you really believe in the God that you've been worshiping all this time? Or it was just lip service? Because a lot of people claim they believe in God, but when that time comes, they say, "Oh, it was just entertainment. I don't really believe in it." So it it's a lot of things that are, man. I I know in my heart, man. I'm like, I know I'm right because sometimes I sit down and when I talk with my parents, this whole to me, I'm not sad. I'm not too excited, but I'm just happy that I'm like I'm actually alive to witness everything I've been reading all these years happening in front of my eyes, and everybody around me has no clue. They may be, yeah, I may agree, but no, they have no idea what's happening. They have no idea. But I'm like, what else can I say? Because even the Bible talks about, it says there's gonna be a famine in there's gonna be time in the last days. It say there's gonna be a famine, but it's not gonna be a famine of food or bread, but it's gonna be a famine of hearing the word of God. That's why, see, all religions were restricted during this pandemic. Why? Like in my last stream, I said, because the powers that be, they wanted to take away your faith, because mankind have attached their faith with religion, and those religions were basically against them. Now that they've taken it away from you, you have nothing to stand on. That's what I say. If anybody out there, you were part of a religious organization, and you were basically forbidden to gather to do your worship, and then they come back later, say, "Oh, okay, everything is good. You can come back now." Don't go back, because they're shown the true color. They didn't believe what they were saying they believed in. N- what was the fight? What was the pastors out here basically denouncing this order? Look, if I was a pastor like that, guess what? I'll prefer to go to jail. I'll prefer they put a fine on me for allowing my congregation to gather, because I rather obey God than man, because that's how strong my conviction is, that I'm not gonna allow you, the government, to basically tell me that I'm not supposed to to access my First Amendment right that you claim is my right, right? That you're not gonna abuse it, but you go ahead and abuse it for the sake of safety. I'm like, and I'm a freaking immigrant. I'm not, look, I'm an American to naturalization, meaning I wasn't born here. I had to basically prove myself to become an American. But you're a freaking American, and you don't even realize that your First Amendment was literally squashed, burned up during the pandemic, and none of your pastor or imam or whatever stood up against it to say that, hey, yeah, we know you want to help the country, but you're not gonna abuse the First Amendment. Do what you gotta do. But my congregation, we're gonna stand on the First Amendment. We're gonna gather. I don't. We don't care. You never. Since when you care about our health? Do you pay our bills? Do you pay my hospital bills? Why do you look when people die? Where are you? It's all bullshit. It's all bull. It's all bull. So it's like it's just theater. Like they don't care. They don't care. The Bible, it's like, that's why it's called scripture. A scripture is a collection of scripts. They're playing everything according to the script. And some people say, well, if the Bible tells you exactly what's going to happen, why the people who are basically executing that plan, why can they stop it? Because they have a different narrative, right? It's the same play, but it's a different narrative. They're seeing from a different light, and you seeing from a different light, but it's the same script. So, and in their mindset, they're like, well, who's gonna stop us? You have no power here. Who's gonna stop you? Who they be like, who's gonna stop me? Nobody. Yeah, Gabe, you're right. Render unto Caesar what is to Caesar, and render to God what is of God. And people didn't realize Caesar is not dead. Caesar is still alive. Yeah. Hey, look at the word freedom, right? Freedom. You're free to be dumb. There is no freedom is what's the saying? I know in the manosphere they love using this word subjective. Because check this, I'll prove you that freedom is you only have freedom based on what you are allowed to. Freedom is not total freedom. I'll give you a scenario. You try, right? Try to go to an empty land here in America where there is nobody. It's a no man's land. Try to build your own town and see what happens. Try. Or try to take a boat and try to be like, you know what? I want to see the edge of the earth. Let me go to Antarctica. Let me, I want to check to see if there's a flat earth and see what happens. So the question will be, if you are now allowed to roam free in this earth, whom belongs to all of us. It doesn't belong to any entity, right? Because the earth is too big. Whatever the size of the earth they tell you, it's all bullshit. It's a lie. They don't. Nobody knows the size of it. No, they can't. But they restrict you to go to certain place. So the question is, do you really have freedom, or your the freedom you have is with restriction? There are certain things you can or can do. So you're really not free. It's like a sheep in a farm. Yeah, you can eat the grass here. You can eat some flowers here, but over there, uh, you don't want to go there because there's a big bad wolf. So I'm here to protect you. So stay in the farm, stay in your limits. Don't go over there. And then the sheep be like, bah, 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 bah. Be like, but I want to go over there. It looks nice. Bah, bah. And then no, 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 no. You stay here. Everything you need is right here. Why you want to go over there? There's nothing over there. But the sheep will be like, I'm free. Yeah, you're free. Don't worry. I'm gonna have you for dinner tomorrow. Yeah, keep talking like that. I'm gonna have you for dinner tomorrow. Keep talking like that. Go back in line. Yeah. So freedom at the end of the day, it's what you're given. You can't have it. Yeah, you can't. And the population right now, according to their numbers, they say, oh, there's too many people, blah blah blah, all this. But who knows? I know definitely in Africa they don't keep census. We don't keep census over there. There are some people whom the government they know they're there, but they don't keep the census. So how do you really know the population of a nation that don't keep their census? And here in America, even people some in the census people lie. So the numbers are usually estimated based on some of the information they have, and they have a statistic or they have a formula where they okay, each generation you're gonna have this amount of birth rate, so we can basically predict how many people are gonna be in the next few years or whatever. But to for them to actually have the exact number, no, they don't, because you may have different people living in one house, and when they do the census, they're not gonna mention them, so nobody really knows. It's all estimate numbers. It's all estimate numbers. Yeah. But yeah, man, this stream was a political stream, but I end up having, going all the way to this part. And yeah, it's like Vision say, uh, I always end up going to the Bible route. You know, I say, the Bible it's more it's a spiritual book. It's at the same time it's a parable, and it's um you know it's not like if you try to approach it where you're like, okay, I need to look at it very concrete and all this and stuff. You can approach it like any other book, because it's written in codes, and a lot of people they reject the Bible or they demonize it. Why? Because they don't understand, and at the same time they don't even try to understand it. or what they do is they just repeat like a parrot from hearsay of other people. Oh, so and so say, they'll say, oh, yeah, I'm like, okay, did you read the Bible to come up to that conclusion? But the same people, they will tell you about, oh, you need to read this book. Don't read that book. Read my book. Don't read that book. Read this one. Oh, no, no. That book over there was written by man, but read this book by this guy. Those arguments usually crack me up. They say, why are you reading a book of, a book of fiction? Read this book, man. This guy I'm like, isn't that guy a man also? Because you say, why are you reading a book? That book was written by man. So how do you know it's real? Oh, okay. The book you reading right there, was it written by an angel or was it written by God? No, it was written by man. All books. Look, everything that's made on this earth, right? That's not natural. It's made by man. That is common sense. It's stupid to be like, oh, the Bible was written by man. I'm like, well, duh. God doesn't have hands as you imagine. He's not a man. Even at the Bible, when he usually he references a hand, it's not talking about a physical hand. It's a word way of speech on how he acts. But he doesn't have hands like us. No, he's beyond this reality. So it's like no, he can't. He didn't write the Bible. No, man did. Of course, it's like come on, like I think usually people when they say that they say they want to sound like super smart, like oh the Bible was written by man. You talk about God and all, but the book was written by man. But hey, wait a minute, read this book. Gotcha. It was written by this special guy, He knows a lot of stuff. So read this one. Don't read that book, man. It's gonna take you to the dark side. Read this book. Oh, Gary, you funny. Say gay. It was a read mode one. Was it more? No, no. Hold on. Mode one. Tama. What's it? This is a third one. Hold on. When it was Akudas. A third one with his mic. Gave you crack me up. I wasn't even thinking of that. Read, read this book. Was it like Margaret said? Why do I need to read a book? It's like, why read a book, man? They're just holes. I know Gibby's like, God dare you. Uh, um, yeah. And another thing is when it comes to talking about God, bro, I remember one time I took a leaf, right? And I'm just looking at it. The design and how the leaf came to be. I'm like, somebody intelligent had to come up with this. This thing was no accident. So how in the hell they're gonna talk about evolution and all that stuff that you know it was just an accident. It was evolving from whatever level. Okay, who created that lower level they evolved from? They never have an answer. Like, see, people don't understand. Science, even about the Bible supports science, but the problem is the Bible supports science that is in agreement with God because true science helps humanity. True science doesn't destroy the earth. Think about this. A car, it's an instrument that's helpful for humanity, right? But it poisons us. It's not supposed to do that. Why does it poison us? Why? Because man made it. There is a flaw. There is a flaw on it. But the creator, everything he made is perfect. So the science of a car, yes, it's helping, but because it's causing damage, there meaning that science has to be revived or revised so that it will be in a way where it doesn't destroy nature. You know, I mean, if man is smart enough to create something, they should be able to have something that's good. But it's like everything they create, there's some sort of destruction behind it. You know, so that means science is not really perfect in itself. It still has a flaw because if they could have had to gain knowledge, I'm like, how in the hell you gonna make a car and the same car can kill you, or was it poison you when it's supposed to help you in a way? Not to say that nature does the same thing, but it's like that logic. It's like when you think about it, you're like, well, it's like s- the Bible cannot. It's like science is part of nature, so how can the Bible be against it? The only part the Bible is against is when science goes against nature and it denies its creator. That's when science becomes wrong because people don't even understand. In science, I remember years back I was reading some books where they say in the science community there's two group. There's one group who believe that God is exists, that He's the source of everything we see, and there's a group of scientists that are atheists that don't believe in anything. And I think it was like a group of doctors. They got hired to work on CERN in Europe, right? Because they said they build a machine that basically can quote unquote create the wormhole on Earth, whatever, right? So those scientists they said whenever they were working on that Stargate, uh, you know, I don't know, Gabe, if you read it, what they were talking. You know, there was a big talk even in the media. They were saying the God particle, the God particle. I don't know if you remember that, right? But this was years ago. I'll say probably like 2011, 2012. So this group of scientists, they said they didn't tell them what they were. They gave them the rhetoric, the scientific rhetoric. They say, "Oh, this is we're doing an experiment. We're trying to find the God particle and all this that right." When it started working, because that machine sucks a lot of power. So when they were working on a machine, they said in that because the machine looked like a Stargate, right? Like the movie Stargate, like so it looks like it, right? They said when they were working on it, the machine they saw a veil, and behind that veil it was like darkness, and then they were hearing voice. They said whenever the machine activated, right, everybody who was in that was close to it. They started acting crazy, like that move, like the zombie movies. They started acting crazy. They started reacting, or their darkest desires or whatever or feeling. They started reacting. Some people started crying. Some people started getting emotional. Some people started angry, fighting, jumping over the stairs and stuff like that. Right. So when those scientists that work on it, they say, "What the hell is going on?" And they saw m- like moving things behind the veil, and they said that the hair on the body stood up, like when you get frightened, like fear or the back on your hair. So those scientists, right, some of them were atheists. When they witnessed the veil, because they say the machine showed them there was a veil that was between them, within that machine, and the other side. They named it the darkness. That's what they called it. And they said the veil had a light on it. Like it's very like glossy. But they say uh the little because I think whatever that was behind the veil, they were trying to open up. They say just a few millimeters that was open, right? They say that little drop energy that came out of it, they say its power had that little drop they got because they had to close it down because they got scared. They said that little drop had the power of 20 nuclear bomb. That little energy particle that came out of that because they whatever that was behind those thing, those beings, whatever, they were trying to scratch and get out. So they had to shut down the machine. That's why when you hear about the machine, the CERN thing, they say, uh, you know, they had to shut down and all that because each time they open the machine or they boot it, and the machine is using the energy to basically open that vortex or whatever, that's where you get earthquakes. The thing about all major earthquake that has happened so far, whether in South America, or they say whenever they charge up the machine to open it, there's an earthquake somewhere around the world. But these are the kind of stuff that science is not going to talk about, because why? Those scientists, they said, those who are atheists and those who believe basically those who believe in God, if that their experience in that project, it fortified their faith, right? And those who were atheists, when they saw it, they converted. They say there is a God, because they say, why are we trying to break through this veil? Like, what is the purpose? And he said, who put that barrier between us and whatever is on the other side? But because people don't read the Bible, they don't understand that the darkness, that darkness was what the Bible called the abyss, where certain demons were locked up. And that the Bible talks about that in the last days, those spirits will be released from hell. What they call hell, it's a different dimension. It's a different dimension. So they're like in the prison, and that veil, that light, that veil, that's what covers the whole earth. That's why I tell people nobody can get out of here, and people don't believe me, because there's a veil that's protecting us from that darkness. You know, when they say space is dark, but what they do is they don't explain to you. There is a veil that's covering us from a dimensional portal, and those scientists over there, they're trying to open it, and they're not even telling those scientists that are working on it that this is what they're working on. But if you talk like this, they're gonna say, "Oh, it's tinfoil and whatever." But I remember that, like, man, you know, at that time I was reading, it was in a magazine, an article where they were talking about the existence of God, and somebody was mentioning it. And I remember watching a video where they were talking about the CERN. But at the end of the day, people say it's he say, she say. So who knows? You know, I wasn't there to actually experience it, but you know, the way the people explain it, you know, because they were using scientific terms that I probably, you know, didn't understand. I knew it was scientific terms, but I'm like, from their rhetoric, I put two and two together. I'm like, they're talking about the abyss, where 90% of the demons that were or the people that were the spirit of those who were destroyed during the flood, their spirits got locked in the depths of the abyss. And it was written that those spirits, they will be released. Something is gonna happen on the earth that's gonna release them, and that's when evil is gonna be at the highest level. And even some records of the Bible says that the things that we saw in mythology, they're gonna come out in the open. Like, you see, like movie like Hercules talking to centaurs and all those beings and all stuff. It's gonna happen. I, the way I say it, I mean, it may not be exactly like that, but it's gonna be more like transhumanism, like half man, half machine or whatever. It's gonna be in that level, because you know back then they had to experiment on animals and all that stuff, but now I'm sure they're like beyond that. Like, the technology is so advanced, like they're doing stuff that the normal human being, like if you were to look at it, your brain will explode, because you won't be able to process it. It's gonna be so like dreamy to see it with your own eyes, that you'll be like, no, this cannot be real, but you see it. It's gonna be like a dream, man. It's gonna be like a dream, but a lot of people won't be able to handle it. You know, they won't be able to handle it. They won't be able to take it. Yeah, yeah, Gabe, you're right. He said, Gabe said, many men believe that technology is gonna to save humanity. No, in the Bible, it tells you technology was given from the gods. Even in mythology, it talks about it. The fallen angels gave mankind what we call technology today. That's why it's able to destroy us, because when the creator, when order is gonna be restored, the technology that we're gonna receive, it's not gonna destroy the earth. I'll show you the power of the creator, right? Some people may not believe it, but in the Bible it talks about the story about the Ark of the Covenant, right? It talks about the Philistines. They stole the Ark of the Covenant, right? You know, you talk about it where the only people who could touch it were the Levite, right? There is a scene where the Israelites went to battle, right? Uh, they had an army, right? but their enemies were in large number, right? You know what they did? They didn't fight. What they did is they sent the priest. They say, "You go over there in the middle of the field." They walk over there with the ark, left, right, left, right, left, right. They got there. They dropped the ark, and then they opened it up and they backed off. Guess what happened? It says fire, a smoke of fire came out of the ark of the covenant. A bursting flame went throughout the camp. Like you know that movie Indiana Jones they show you where they say don't look, right? And then the little wind or that little flame came out of the ark and then everybody was looking at the star melting or whatever, right? So the Bible says the fire came out of the ark, destroyed those armies, right? It's fire, right? It burned them up, right? But the Bible says not even the little grass that those men were standing on got burned. Just them. Now tell me, what weapon out there do you know? What nuclear weapon or some napalm that you can drop out there that can burn people, but it doesn't burn the trees or the ants or whatever it's in its surrounding, but only its target. You know, it's like man. When I read this kind of story, I'm like, man, it's intriguing, right? I mean, imagine Americans when they went to Vietnam dropping those napalm on the Vietnamese, and that the napalm is only burning people, but it's not burning the trees and everything. That technology would be something, right? Where you can drop a nuclear bomb, it will blow up buildings, everything, but the trees, the flower, the birds, the animals, they're okay. Yeah, right. Good luck. Good luck with that if it's gonna happen. Good luck. But it shows you the power of the Most High. Like He's able to burn the enemies without hurting the earth. That's real technology right there. That's real power, man. It's like just four people. They walk with something heavy. They drop on the floor. They open to the little cover, and they just back off. They say, "Okay, you go ahead, do your thing." You got an ark. It was a immovable object versus thousands of people, thousands of armies, and he kills them, burns them up without even burning the grass that they're standing on. Just them and them only. I can imagine in the grass there was a grasshopper. He's like, "Oh my God, fire's coming out!" Oh, I'm okay. I'm okay. And the body said, "Wait, where's that fire come from?" They probably were scratching their head. They say, "Wait, fire came down above us and we didn't get burned? What the heck? Oh, I'm an ant. I'm dumb. Let me go back to my usual job." You know, or the birds that were there running away. Oh my God, floating. But then they're like, "Oh, my little the little I forgot what it's called, where the birds the nest that was in the tree probably got shaken up with the wind from the ark or whatever." And then the bird is, "Oh man, my little eggs, they're gonna burn." And then the bird is like, "Oh, oh, oh, it's back." You know how birds move their heads like quick, quick, and then they're like, "Oh shit, everything's good." Use his beak. Pop, 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 pop. Oh, okay, everything's good. Let me go get some worm. And at the worm that's on the ground where the fire fell, they're like, "We safe." And then the bird comes up, pluck him. It's like, "Not today. You ain't running away from me. I gotta eat." So the power of true, like, I'll say that's when we're gonna experience true technology where whatever machine we have will never destroy or hurt the natural. The Basically the man-made technology will not be able to hurt the natural. That will be the best moment where we can actually accept technology. But whatever we have right now, nah, it's it's destructive. Nah, no, no. It's like no. It has so many flaws because the knowledge was given by the fallen ones because they knew that whatever they're gonna give us is gonna destroy us sooner or later. You know, it's beneficial. People don't understand good and evil. It all comes down to perspective based on how society is set up. But the Bible basically helps you see the light to know exactly what is good and exactly what's evil. S- So when you explain to somebody, say that true, perfect technology will be something that doesn't destroy the earth. They can't imagine it. Why? Because I mean, we all have technology and stuff like that. That yeah, it helps you, but it has a negative side effect. So they're like, well, it's always been like this way. Technology will always have flaws and all that. No, real technology will basically support nature. It's not gonna be against it. It's not gonna be its enemy, because whatever you're gonna use for technology comes from the earth. It comes from nature. So how can nature be against itself? It doesn't make any sense, you know. But anywho, uh, I know it's kind of late, so a lot of people probably be sleeping. But hey, I'm actually surprised. I got 5 people in the building. I know, Gabby, you probably awake, probably working online. You're like, thank God, I don't have to go to the office, drive, waste gas. I'm here. Let's see. Let's see, Mr. Benevolent. Peace, bro. I think it's my first time seeing you on my stream. Audience specialist. Oh yeah, I didn't even realize you were here too. uh, so yeah, uh, any one of you want to jump in, or you guys are busy? Basically, the topic of the video earlier was, will President Trump get a second term? I say yes. So unless any one of you want to jump in, last call. Last call. Because right, okay. Oh, now we got another viewer. So yeah, I'm tired rambling, and I'll tell you, hey, I'm usually a talker, but not a talker. I'm like talking by myself is good, but at the same time, it's not good because I'm like I just don't want to hear myself talk. uh, let's see. What is there anything new in the news? Let's see. Since we're on the subject about Donald Trump, let me see. Donald Trump, Donald Trump. Dun, 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 dun. Donald Trump, Mr. President. Uh, oh man, the media is so somebody stupid. Look at the Guardians. They say Donald Trump Jr.'s new anti-Biden book misplaces apostrophe in title. I mean, uh, Hillary Clinton talks to Trevor Noah about voter suppression. Her, huh? Oh man. Oh, the media, man, it's crazy. It's crazy. Any takers, guys? I got 5 people in the building. Do we have window watchers, or anybody there love Donald Trump? If you love, was it? If you love Donald Trump, clap your hands. If you love Donald Trump, clap your hands. Ta-ta. Come on, I know some of you out there are Trump lovers. Come on, man. Like, you love Donald Trump. Come on. This is your time to shine. Come on up. Be like, yeah, MAGA, make America great again. This is my president, man. This is my president. If you don't like America, get the hell out. This is America. I'm in America, man. Trump, Trump. Yes, MAGA, MAGA. Make America great again. Come on. I love America. Trump, he's my man. uh, uh, man, it's gonna. Oh man, I can't wait to see the tears on people, man, when the election comes and he wins. They're gonna be like that girl from 2016. No. Oh man. But yeah, on a living note to you guys, man, I'm like everything's gonna get well. It's just that right now people are losing hope, but I have faith that everything's gonna be fine. You just have to be patient and don't hate the Bible. The Bible has a lot of comforting messages. All we have to do is just give it time and see what happens. You know. Oh wow! It's almost 1:20 a.m. Wow. I've been running. Man, I've been on for like almost 3 hours now. Man, time goes fast. Wow. I'm surprised. I'm surprised it's been this long. Wow. Let's see. Who else is on right now? I know Kuda. Kuda was supposed to have a stream. Let me see. Oh, okay. Kuda is doing a gaming show today. Oh, wait, did it end? Was it flagged? Uh, oh, check this out, guys. Kuda, you cracked me, Kuda. Kuda has started whenever he was doing a gaming stream, right? And he in the description he added he says the copyright laws of the United States recognize fair use, and guess what they did? They shut him down anyway. They're like, not today, son, not today. Kuda. Oh man, it says it was here 1 hour ago, but the video is only 21 minutes. Yeah, they probably punished him. They're like, nah, not today. Yeah, they did him dirty like they did me this morning. Oh man, this is why, man. So many censorship. Yeah, they deleted this, man. They ended the stream, man. I see nobody's coming. I guess everybody's just listening. Yeah, I'm surprised. Yeah, I had like 5 people listening in. Hey, if nobody wants to come on, what I'll do is I'll just play one like a exiting track, some music to tickle your ear, and if nobody shows up after that, then I'll just end the stream. So before I play the music, I just wanna thank everybody for showing up, and I'm very grateful that you guys chose to come here at this moment to hear my voice and tell you guys about politics and religion and everything else. Yeah, especially say, yeah, I'll probably have to sleep too, so I can wake up. Um, I knew for sure. I knew because I told Kud, I'm like, hey, if he's gonna do third, or was it third shift tonight, then I'll just wait till in the morning so I can pick up after him. But it looks like tonight could I may not do another stream, so I don't know what's gonna happen, but we wait and see. But I'll probably gonna take a nap so I can wake up like at 7 or 8. I got some interesting topic for tomorrow, but we'll see. I bet you there's gonna be almost everybody's gonna be streaming in the morning. So I want to thank everybody for showing up, and Donald Trump. Let me see if I can put his face over there. Donald Trump, Mr. President. Donald Trump, he's my president. Donald Trump, yeah. He's tremendous and terrific too. Donald Trump, yeah. Mega hat. Donald Trump, yeah. Yeah, yeah. He loves you. He got a stimulus package for you. 1200 is enough to tricking his life. Trick on my dude. Yeah. Hey, I can sing. Come on, guys, don't laugh at me. I can sing. I can rap. Hey, Trump, he's my president. Yeah. Let's see. I'm gonna play this song. It's like a go out song, since nobody wants to come up. They are afraid of talking with the master because it's night and you're scared. I'll be in your dreams. Yeah, let me see if I can play one good song. Uh, okay, I think I found it. It's okay. Tears of a King. Yeah, this. Let's see, it's a good song. Yeah, yeah. I'll play this one then. It's only like 2 minutes and 40 minutes, so that would be a good song. All right, guys. Thanks again. You have a good evening, good night, and I'll see you guys on the next stream. So enjoy this track. So thanks again.